I hate kilos. I don't know. That's not American, you know? Why doesn't America take that back and do regular weight, right? America is the greatest country in the world, so we should take that back.
It makes you wonder if somebody's listening to this thinking that's the PR I want to break.
Good luck. That's a hell of a PR, man. Sex, beer, and bench pressing. There's nothing better, my friend.
It's time to sit down, keep it real, and cut the bullshit. Welcome to Table Talk. All right, guys, we're back with another episode of Table Talk. My guest today again is Mr. Huck Finn. He has a goal to drink a beer with all of his followers. That was on your Instagram. Held an all-time bench record at 523 at one point in time, but is best known for, I don't want to say influencer, because you were an influencer before.
Idiot.
An idiot.
Professional idiot.
Yeah, best known for a professional idiot. So before we get started, I got one quote here. I want to jump off with that.
Okay.
Then we're going to see what you've been doing, because this may just recap it all. It's from your Instagram. It says, 5 years ago, I was addicted to alcohol, lifting, and sex. Fast forward 5 years and nothing has changed. I absolutely love my life.
That's 100% true, Dave. Hey, 5 years ago, what is it, 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, I was on this podcast. Nothing has changed at all.
Nothing.
Sex, beer, and bench pressing. There's nothing better, my friend.
So more tolerant or less tolerant to the beer?
Oh, it's just about the same. You know, the last 20 years or so, it's been pretty about the same. I mean, last time I was on here, I drank an estimated 15 to 20 beers, correct?
Yeah.
Today I'm going to beat that record.
Yeah. So there's one you've already had your training. So you got in late last night. So tell me a story about your trip coming down.
Yeah, so we're big Bears fans. We're from Chicago, right? So the Bears are playing the Packers, our most hated rival. I hate the Packers. I've hated the Packers since I was, 2 years old, since I can remember. And the Packers have beat our ass for the last 25 years, since Brett Favre took over. So I got to watch that. I could have got an early start, 8 in the morning, drove out here. It's like 6-7 hour drive. But we decided to watch the Bears. I thought they were going to win. They're up by 1 point, or they're down by 1 point with 30 seconds left. Eberflus, the coach, who is a piece of shit, decides to run the timeout, not run the ball, gain a couple extra yards. So he runs the time down to 5 seconds. They kick a 46-yard field goal. Blocked. Bears lose. I was wrong again. And now I have to leave at 4:30 in the afternoon instead of 9 in the morning. And we don't get in town to 2 a.m.
Yeah.
We did make a few stops on the way here. We had to get to Real American Beer, Hulk Hogan's beer. That is breaking news on here. You heard it here first. Real American Beer has sponsored me.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Congratulations. That's good.
It is.
So what does that mean? What does that mean?
Everything I've ever dreamed of, man.
Yeah.
Free beer per month, a payment per month, and invited out to, events. Paid to go out to events, apparel, and all the other crap that goes along with that, too. And it's fucking Hulk Hogan. It's beer. So
when it's a free beer per month, is it like a pallet? Like, how's this come?
Well, see, some companies like Monster and stuff do pallets. They'll drop it off like per month, but beer, I don't think you can ship in the mail. So what they're going to do is give me a beer allowance.
Okay.
So they're like, how much beer you drink? Give us the, screenshot the receipts and we'll pay you back. So I'm 42 years old and I have a beer allowance. I mean, I couldn't ask for anything more.
Well, where's the allowance at, though?
Right now?
Because
I might be kicked off the team soon. I think it's too much. The allowance is very high. Okay. Once I got that free beer, man, it's through the roof. Yeah, so it's going to go up then. Oh, yeah, the beer intake will go up. I mean, it's free. Yeah. Can't give a guy like me free beer. What do you think's going to happen?
Well, exactly. So nothing's been going on since you've been out last time.
Nothing at all. Beer, sex, lifting weights, same old. Don't nothing ever change around here? That's what my old man used to always say. And no, nothing has changed.
So training-wise, no injuries?
Well, got a little bit of a bump in the road about, 4 months ago. You know, obviously build the bench back up, build the chest, fuck the rest. And I was just about 75% of like a training max I was doing, you know? So I put your training max about 485 or something like that. And then it was somewhere in the 300s, nothing heavy. Yeah, I think it was, I don't remember what I was doing, like 8 sets of 5, something stupid. And like my last set, out of the hole, bam, something popped. It felt like I was like, oh, I've never been so mad. Like every emotion in my life, I was like, holy fuck. I'm the only guy to not only tear my pec tendon once, twice, but I thought 3 times. So I didn't, you know, I went and got the MRI, all that stuff. Everything was fine.
Just a strain?
It was just a strain and some scar tissue popping and stuff like that.
You've never done that before, though?
Not like that. It felt like a complete tear, a rupture again.
I had a bunch of that, that were like that.
Yeah?
Yeah, after the repair, you know, and it feels like, oh, shit.
Oh, it felt bad.
You know, and then you go get it looked at, and it's scar tissue, whatever they tell you it is.
I've never been so happy in my life when I came out of that doctor's office.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like winning the lottery. Because that's a year-long injury. And then to come back at it again, man, that would have been tough. I mean, I would have did it, obviously, but just everything flashed in front of my eyes again, like the fucking sitting in your bed, the fucking sling with not moving your arm, and then getting out of the sling, you look like a piece of shit. I mean, you look like Dave Portnoy said from Barstool Sports, said Jack's Pizza is a floppy piece of shit. And that's one of my favorite pizzas. That's what you look like, a floppy piece of shit. You look like a Jack's Pizza.
Yeah.
So yeah, all that is flashing in front of my eyes, but turned out to be all right, you know?
So when you went to lay this training out, because you were laying it out for, was it a PR bench that you were kind of looking for?
Yeah.
How do you determine what those are now? Because you've been doing this forever. You know what I'm saying? Are you looking at the PR being your all-time best?
No.
So how do you determine what
both
that is?
pec tendons, like I said, and I'm 42 now, you know, on top of that. So I usually take it around 470, 485, somewhere in that range. It's a safer range. Something I know I could hit. I used to work back for something I'm gonna hit. Like, never hit it, but I'm gonna hit this motherfucker, right? And just work, 12 weeks back or whatever. But now I work in a safer range, you know, laying out the numbers. And that was actually my first week of starting to go a little heavier. I've been doing a lot more bodybuilding style, hypertrophy style work. And the first fucking week, it's boom. Fucking. All I want to do is work out. That's all I know.
Yeah.
And then to take that away again, that made me a little nervous.
How long was it fucked up? Like maybe, because every time I've done it, just a few weeks.
Yeah, I backed off about 3-4 weeks. I worked around it. And now I haven't flat benched much in the last, however long it's been, 10 weeks, I don't know. And started back on incline. I love the incline bench. I've always loved incline. I've actually taken 6 months off of benching and just strictly focused on incline. And then I went back to benching, and my bench was actually stronger.
Yeah.
So I love the incline bench. It's overall, I think it's a better stimulation for your pecs. It makes you stronger. It works more of your pec muscles as well. So yeah, I'm a big incline fan, a big overhead guy fan too.
Yeah, I've always liked the incline because what I think it does is, if that steep incline, especially a steeper incline, you're kind of taking your lats out.
Yes.
You know, so the shoulders, pecs, and triceps do more work. Then when you go flat and your lats come back in,
and bam,
then, you know, it's all there.
Yeah.
So going back to when you lay this out, so if you're to lay out again, you know, to be able to push your bench, you're going to set this goal. But is it, when you say it's something you're going to do, but is it still a stretch goal? So let's say it's 450 or 475 or whatever it was.
Right.
You know, you can do that, but if you don't hit your training over the next 3 or 4 months, you're not going to do it.
Hell no.
Yeah. So it is still a stretch goal.
Yeah. It's still, I mean, I'm going to hit it in the good days when I had 2 healthy pec tendons, right? At one point, my goal was 585 or 600, you know, and leading up to everything, I hit all those numbers that I knew I was going to hit. And then, you know, you fuck up and you miss a lift in the competition or something. You know, I don't even know how many times I've missed like 551 or, you know, we got those stupid kilos.
Yeah.
Right? I hate those kilos. I never understood that. Those weird numbers, 501, not 500, 501.
Or 799.
Or yes, it's the worst. Why would I do 804?
Yeah, exactly.
I know. I hate kilos. I don't know. That's not American, you know? Why doesn't America take that back and do regular weight, right? America is the greatest country in the world, so we should take that back.
Take it back.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Did you see, speaking of that kind of stuff, did you see, was it a Saturday Night Live clip or something where the guy's like George Washington and he's on the boat and he's explaining what's going to happen? Like, we're going to call like something a hamburger. And the guy's like, well, is it made out of ham, sir? No, we're just going to call it a fucking hamburger. And we're going to call this thing, this other thing we eat with a bun, a hot dog. Well, what's in it? A dog?
Yeah.
Nobody knows what's in it, sir. So America's the best.
Yeah, for that.
Right?
The kilo thing is an interesting one. Some people will like it because the weights don't look as big.
Yeah.
You know, like 3 reds is,
Looks like
shit. So, well, you would think it's 315.
Yeah.
But it's 60 pounds more.
Yeah.
Or whatever it's going to be. Where I want the bigger weights.
Me too.
You know,
with those deep dish plates.
Right?
So
It
looks like 500.
Yeah.
Looks like, holy fuck.
Where do you cross over to where, because now you go bumper plates and then all of a sudden that's bad.
I know.
Right. So there's a scale.
Yes.
To where it's stupid, then really, really cool, and then stupid again.
I know.
So
because you see a lot of guys use those bumpers. They look like 45s, but they're 25s.
Yes.
But,
yes. Or the fat bumpers.
Yeah, the big fat bumpers.
They look like hundreds, but they're 45.
I don't like those. That's I don't cross into that territory. But yeah, like I like the steel plates too. You know, the clanging of it, the weight. That's what I love. I don't like any of the bumper stuff. I don't like the rubber coating shit. You know, I want to hear that steel, man, because. You know, when I worked out, when I first started working out, I don't think there was, there must have been some bumpers, but I never saw them.
I never saw them.
You know, I remember being in my living room and hearing those fucking plates clanging.
Yeah.
Like my old man benching or something. Pop, 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 pop.
Well, if you go back far enough, there are the plastic cement plates. Right?
Oh, yeah. They were. We had some of those.
Yeah.
In the garage.
Yeah, that's what I had.
Yeah.
The gray and gold ones. You know, then from there, the steel plates. I don't even remember seeing like 100. You know, until years into the whole thing. Those were rare.
Yeah, same with me. Yeah, I'm not at the high school gym or anywhere. I think first time I saw the hundreds is out in Ernie Franz's gym out there back in the early 2000s.
That's a mind fuck there, because now you only have 4 plates per side. But
I know. Yeah, like you put the hundreds on, you deadlift all the time. You're like, hold on a second, this is like 245, but it looks like it's 135.
Yeah. Or if it's on the bench, it's even worse.
Oh yeah, I've never done that on the bench ever.
Yeah, 1 plate per side. Is right. 2 plates is 445.
No.
All right, so tell me your thoughts on the Tyson fight.
Oh man, I got a lot of thoughts on the Tyson fight. There's so much. Well, first off, Netflix sucks. Netflix sucks dick with their assholes is what they do. I mean, that's the worst.
The streaming was pretty.
How could the streaming be that bad?
Yeah, well,
they didn't expect that many viewers, or
I'm assuming it's that there were so many people that the stream was hard to manage.
Yeah, so I thought it was my internet. You know, I'm out in my barn. I got that gym out there, you know, and we got Wi-Fi. Something in my Wi-Fi shit. I'm like, come on. All right, let's go shut the router off, pull the plug, plug that shit.
The same thing.
Right? All the shit to try to get to work. And then I'm like, well, maybe it's not on our side. So I went to, what do they call it? Twitter, X. And then it's everywhere. Like they're making fun of Netflix. Thank God it's not on me. But yeah, I sat in there, drank some real American beer, watched a fight, thought it was fixed. I mean, I thought it was fixed from the get-go. I didn't think, everybody says Jake Paul's fights are fixed. The guy's a good marketer. He marketed himself perfect. Everybody hates his guts. It's like pro wrestling. Yeah. The whole world's like pro wrestling if you look at it. Politics, pro wrestling, 100%. You know, the way they talk to each other, all the shit, the good guy, the bad guy, you know, all that stuff. Everything is pro wrestling. Everybody wanted to see Jake Paul get knocked out. Everybody hates this guy. And you're going to bring in Mike Tyson, who Mike Tyson was the man for 20 years. Anybody 40 and over maybe has seen every Tyson fight, knows Tyson. And then all the younger people know that the Paul brothers. So it was a perfect combo of get everybody to watch it. You know? And everybody wants to see Tyson come back. You never know what's going to happen with him. He's unpredictable.
Yeah.
People love that shit. I love it. I was like, man, I hope this motherfucker eats his face off. If he starts losing, just start biting his nose off.
Yeah. Something.
Yeah.
You know.
His legs got heavy, what, in the second, third round, you could tell he wasn't moving too well. I don't know. I think it was fake. What do you think?
I don't know. I went in with an open mind.
Yeah.
Like, you know, because it was a real sanctioned fight. You know, it's like a lot of the other ones are like expos or whatever they fucking call them.
Yeah.
It's not like a real sanctioned thing. So I went in with an open mind, like, well, maybe they are going to actually fight.
Yeah.
You know, and the lead up that Netflix had the little, you know, specials or whatever.
Yep.
A couple things went through my mind there. The first one was, this dude's 2 years older than me. I'm not in shape at all.
I know.
Like, oh my God.
58 years fucking old.
Granted, we're only seeing like 30 total seconds of training, which could be all bullshit.
Right.
But either way, I'm like, well, I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't do that.
He looked quick.
And he looked quick. And so I went in with the open mind thinking all he needs to do is to get in close.
Yep.
And hit the uppercut that we've seen. And it's fucking over.
Make a miss, uppercut.
Then after the first round, it's like, well, is he just pacing himself? Yeah. It's only 2 minute rounds, right? He did the assault bike, right?
Yeah,
you know?
right. Yeah, he did. Yeah, I watched that.
So I don't know, man. I think at this point, because I heard, and I don't know definitively that if he didn't make it 4 rounds, he wasn't gonna get paid. You know, I've seen some shit like that. That was on X.
Oh, geez.
You know, like, well, what the fuck is that?
The motherfucker got paid $20 million.
Yeah.
That
20
is
million.
wild.
Exactly.
I would do anything for 20 million. My God.
But in context, is that really that much?
For Mike Tyson?
Yeah.
Probably is right now. Like I spent, well, maybe not. He's got that brand, that marijuana brand and all that.
Yeah.
Before, I guess he made a ton of money, but blew it all.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I lost everything.
So maybe not. Maybe, you know, it's just like an old powerlifter. They just want to keep working out, want to keep going. There's an old boxer. He just wants to box, you know?
Yeah, I think looking at
it's
it
like
through all that, I think it was definitely, I don't want to say fixed, scripted to some degree.
Yes. Yeah, scripted.
You know, it's maybe not as
pro
much.
wrestling.
Yeah,
right.
Maybe not as much as, probably like the pro wrestling. You know, like just make it last, you know, whatever you guys need to do.
Right.
And kind of go that route. And I was a little disappointed when it was all over.
Me too.
Fuck, I stayed up late.
Yeah, right.
Compromised my squat workout the next day.
Yes. That's it. I thought the same thing. I mean, it was like fucking midnight or something. The time was over with, right? I had to go to work the next day. I had to go to prison in the morning. So I stay up, watch all that, watch the bullshit, you know, the Netflix fucking up. And then watching this fight, everybody's like, God damn it. The guy didn't get knocked out. Thought it was scripted. All the shit. Everybody's upset. Yeah,
now I don't follow boxing that close, but the women that fought before, that was a fucking fight.
Those fucking women are warriors, man.
Yeah, that was worth it right there.
Dude, that made me want to get up and start working out immediately. I mean, I want to run through a goddamn wall. Yeah, that one Puerto Rican girl, man, she was tough. She should have won that fight. I mean, that was all bullshit. The Irish girl, they said headbutt her. You saw her eye. Like it was flapped over. And of course they're like, do you want to stop? Fuck, she's not going to stop unless she's dead. You can't ask her to stop.
Yeah.
It's like you either call the fight or she's not going she'll die in the ring.
Yeah.
Right? And I love that mentality. I'm going to fucking die in the ring. Fuck this. And she should have won. I mean, I don't know. I think that was bullshit. The other girl had the belt. So good fight, man. That was worth it there.
Yeah, that was probably the best fight.
Yeah.
You know, the night for sure.
Man, back in the day, I would never be like, a woman's fight is going to be better than a Mike Tyson fight.
Interesting.
I would never think that in a million years, like the late 90s.
Yeah.
And now the women are fucking good.
Now, some of the earlier Tyson fights, because I was bouncing at that time.
Yeah.
Some of those I would watch because they were like that first 1 minute, knockout in 8 seconds.
Yes.
And you're like, is this some rigged bullshit?
Right.
Because it doesn't look like he hit him that hard.
Yeah.
Until you see the replay later. You know, the guy's head's fucking snapping off his neck.
Yeah.
You know, the whole time. But those things were over. Some of those were.
Yeah. Those
12 seconds.
First 3-4 years, man.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah.
And then he went to prison, right? He got knocked out for Buster Douglas, went to prison, came out, bit Holyfield's ear off. And then I hated that Lennox Lewis, man. When he got beat by Lennox Lewis, I hated that. I wish he would have I still wish he'd knocked Lennox Lewis out. You know? That fucking England son of a bitch. He was there too at that fight. He was talking. He looked a lot different. Didn't have that hair anymore. Got the gray beard. And then Holyfield was there.
Yeah, I saw him.
Yeah.
They're
trying to talk to him.
His mic didn't work. He ain't here for shit. You know, I'm laughing to myself. I'm like, can he not here for shit because he got his ear bit off?
Yeah, right. They're asking you, do you think he's going to bite his ear off today? Oh, my God. Yeah, no, the Tyson fight. I mean, it was entertainment, like I said, wrestling. So I was entertained. So there's that. I mean, the funniest part of the whole thing was when Tyson turned around, his whole asshole was hanging out.
Yeah.
I mean, I could not stop laughing, dude. I was like, are you kidding? No, they didn't just show that, did they?
Yeah.
He, like, waddles back like a penguin and his fucking ass is hanging out. God, that was funny as shit. There's like a million memes off that, you know.
So if we're to flip this back onto yourself and coming up through the powerlifting, because we went through your whole origin story and all that shit before, has your perspective changed at all on things that you would do different if you were to come up again?
No, I wouldn't do anything different.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of people said if I like just took powerlifting more seriously, I could have been a lot better. You know, like Ed Cohen told me that. Hell, we stopped at Steve Gentili's gym on the way here, Indy City Barbell in Indianapolis there. And he said the day after I tore my pec tendon off the bone out at Mark Bell's gym there, that he was out there. And then Mark was telling him, man, if that guy just took lifting seriously, he could be one of the greatest of all time. But the way I took powerlifting was I was doing it the whole time, my whole life, similar powerlifting style, but it was for sports, for football, baseball. And that to me was like the sport. Lifting weights was like my passion, like fun, you know? And then when I got kicked out of college several times and there's no more football, there was lifting weights still with my buddies. So it still felt like a team, you know? And that atmosphere, that's the atmosphere, that's what I love. And that's why I'm still doing it too.
This episode of Table Talk is brought to you by Troponin Supplements, a company that's changing the game when it comes to performance supplements. Today, I want to talk to you about the 3 supplements that I like best. ATP is your go-to supplement when you need fast, clean energy and sharp mental focus without the crash. It gives me that focus and the energy that I'm looking for and doesn't have the crash at the end like you find with a lot of other supplements that are out there. Next up is Field Rations, which is my go-to intra-workout. It's no stim, but it provides all the nutrients to allow for better recovery and better stamina, so to say. And then there's Suppressor Max. This is for anyone that loves carbs but wants to be able to handle them a little bit better. It helps your body use carbs more efficiently, keeps blood sugar steady, and gives you better energy after meals without that sugar crash. Head over to Troponin Supplements and use the code TABLETALK for 10% off your order. When they say that, what part would they say you didn't take seriously?
I don't know. I never asked him that. You know what
I'm saying?
I guess I should ask Ed why he told me that.
You get what I'm saying though?
Yeah.
Because you're not missing training.
No, I never missed a training day.
Right? You're eating enough to be able to recover.
100%.
And you're having fun with it.
Yeah.
You know, because sometimes I wonder that is the problem, because if somebody looks like they're having too much fun doing it, that means that they're not taking it serious.
Bingo, that might be it.
Right? And that's not correct.
That's not. I know. I remember when I first started gaining some like popularity and shit on the internet, right? And I competed a couple times, and then people watch me on the internet and they think all I do is like fuck off or something. I would not be this strong. I would not look like this if this is all I did. Like that shit was always like after we're done training, or maybe we'd come in on an off day and do something dumb, like something like that. That wasn't my whole fucking workout.
Which pretty much everybody does.
Right.
They just don't film that.
Yes. Right.
You know, so it's very interesting because I hear that a lot. You know, well, if so-and-so would just take it serious, I'm like, well, what is that? What does that mean?
I mean, fuck, I was taking it serious in 8th grade.
Yeah.
I remember I wouldn't miss a workout in 8th grade. I remember in high school, we had the dungeon, and people would come into my house, you know, to pick me up to go out and hang out. I was 16, 17 years old. And I'd be in the gym, and I would never not do my workout. I didn't care if they were there hanging out with my dad for an hour. I'm still doing the workout. I wouldn't miss a workout. Remember tearing my pec tendon off the bone. Never missed a workout. Did whatever I could do. Legs, other arm, neck, anything. because that's all I know and that's all I'm good at.
Well, a lot of the crews that you were around too
Yeah.
were serious. So you were seeking out other people to get better and travel in the country to compete and,
Right.
and meet with other people to get better.
Yes.
Right. So you get what I'm saying? Like, what's not serious about that?
I don't know. Maybe we should call Ed Cohen up and ask him.
Yeah.
He said that, or Mark said that. Yeah, that was the first time I heard that Mark said that about me to him. That's what he told me yesterday. Yeah, I don't know. I know, like, I didn't compete for a long time, and I was like the strongest guy, like in my area, and people knew me around the area. And I was benching like 500 pounds and, you know, drinking beer like every day and having a good time. And that's when Ernie Sr. heard about me. That's why he's like, hey, come train with us, man. You could be like one of the best in the world. So then I was like, well, I guess maybe I'll do that. I got nothing else to do now because I have a baby on the way. That's how it all started.
So what was that like,
down.
you know, going from basically training by yourself and then right into that crew?
It was good. I mean, those guys pushed you big time, especially Senior did. And then seeing guys actually stronger than me. Like where I was training at, there's nobody remotely strong as me. And then to see guys like Derek Kendall and Eric Lillibridge, and some of those guys squatting like 1,000 pounds. And I'm squatting like at that time, probably 700, you know, climbing my way up the ladder. I was like, holy shit. How the fuck is that guy he squat 1,000 pounds? He couldn't bench as much as me, but.
Yeah. Well, what was it like being in that? Because this is an interesting time because Raw was just starting, you know, to make its climb. But you're in a gym that's pretty much known for multiply lifters.
Right.
And well, Ernie was selling multiply gear. I mean, that's basically the gym and how he was making his living.
Well, that's Ernie. You're talking about Ernie France.
Yeah.
Right. No, I wasn't in that. The France gym I just competed at when I was younger.
Okay.
So I had been to that gym twice, but I didn't know Ernie that well. I didn't know him until later in life very well.
Okay, so it's Lillibridge.
So it's, Lillibridge. But I heard a lot of stories about fucking Ernie France.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy was a fucking like, he won a bodybuilding show, like a national bodybuilding show and a national powerlifting meet in the same day.
Yeah.
That's fucking unheard of. And not a lot of people know about Ernie France. I mean, and a hell of a guy. Nicest guy ever.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I remember him coming out. He'd come out to Barbell Central all the time and help us. The guy's 82 years old.
So then when the crew that you were in, you know, Lillibridge is right?
Yeah.
And then yourself, who else was in there?
Me, the Lillibridges, Tom Callis, Matt Clausen, JP Carroll was there quite a bit, Derek Kendall, Ernie and Eric.
Yeah, so long sessions.
We had, oh God, jeez. I remember I first started training with them. They were training at this gym, Jacked Hardcore, and I'd go in at like 8 o'clock bench night on like a Wednesday or something they had. I'd go there at 8 o'clock. I'd show up, and they didn't show up till like 10 at night. And then they'd have like a 3-hour lifting sessions. And I'd go home. My wife thought I was cheating on her or something. She's like, where the fuck you been? I said, I just got back from the gym at 1 in the morning. That's how they train. So very long, kind of different training sessions than I was used to. You know, powerlifting's different style. Like almost to me, it's kind of boring. Just those main lifts all the time, you know. I love the other shit where I could push myself, you know, on the accessory work. I mean, obviously, I love to bench heavy as fuck. I like to squat, deadlifts. The squat and the deadlift has taken kind of a back seat since I split a hole in my hamstring back, you know, when I cut my finger off for the second time on the stairmaster.
All right, so we got to go back here now. Okay, so cutting your finger off for the first time, what's that story?
Well, when I cut the finger off for the first time, I've cut off 2 fingers.
Yes.
So the first one, I was in college and I was lifting weights. And I dropped the weights on the ground. I was doing dumbbell bench presses, like 100-pound dumbbells in each hand. And then below me was like 90-pound dumbbells. And the bench was just a little bit shorter to the ground than normal. So I drop it and I dropped the other one and it was like a guillotine and sliced it right off. And I knew I pinched it. So I fucking grabbed what the fuck? I look at my finger and it looks like the bone, or no, it looks like the fingernail got pushed out. Like it broke the fingernail. I'm pissed. I thought I just lost my fingernail, you know, right before the last game too. And I look at it again, and it's my bone hanging out from that knuckle, the last knuckle. I'm like, oh shit, that's my bone.
Yeah.
So I pick everything up, I grab my finger, right? And I go up to one of my coaches and I said, hey coach, I cut my finger. And he goes, fuck you, Finn, get back in there. Thinking I'm just fucking around because I'm, an idiot. I go, no, I cut it pretty bad. He's, let me see it. And I open my hand up and he almost started throwing up. Get to Doc Riley's office right now. He takes me to the emergency room. I get in there and one of my buddies took me out there. One of the linemen, he says, the doctor comes in. I said, he looked like Fire Marshal Bill too, the doctor did. I said, hey, could you sew this on the other way so my nail grows out backwards? They said, no. And they sewed it on. And then I went to practice that afternoon and I had no underwear on and a hospital gown. So my whole ass is hanging out like Tyson. And you walk this hill. It's almost like Rudy. You know when Rudy comes back to practice when he quit the team and he's slowly walking, the team starts turning around? That's kind of how it was because everybody knew I'd cut my finger off. So I stopped practice and I talked to my coach. I said, yeah, I'm not going to be able to play in the last game. And he's laughing. I know, Finn. And then I turn around and they didn't know this, but I had no underwear on and my whole ass is hanging out and everybody just started dying laughing. And little did I know, but that was like the last time I ever played football, right? So at that semester, I went back home to go to community college to try to transfer into a different school. But my fingers started turning black. So I was like, hey, I think I have gangrene or something. So I go to the doctor and they're going to cut my finger off. And then they waited for a specialist to come in. He comes in. He's like, no, it's just not circulating properly. It still will. Go home, just keep cleaning out all that stuff and should be fine. I said, all right. I go home, month passes, 2 months, but it starts getting blacker and starts turning like hard. And I'm lifting weights in the gym, this Wright's Gym at DeKalb, and I do for some reason, I'm doing a one-arm pull down, which I probably never did in my fucking life. I don't know why I did it. And my finger's just hanging out a little bit. I'm grabbing onto that bar. As I pull down, the weight stack goes up and hits that finger and shoots it across the room like 20 feet. Right? So the tip's bleeding real bad.
Yeah. So it's already dead.
But it was dead and it flew off. So I went over there, I grabbed it, I put it in my pocket, and I finished my workout. So I go back home and I give it to my old man and we put it in a shot glass, right? And we put that shot glass on the mantle with all the old trophies. And it's still there to this day. And every Thanksgiving, we take a shot of wild turkey out of it. And 2 years ago, my dad swallowed the pinky, coughed it back up. We still have it. And
no, wait, what do you mean? So you take it out of, what is it, like in formaldehyde? Like what the fuck is it?
It's in nothing.
It's just in nothing.
It's in nothing at the bottom of a shot glass.
Okay.
Right.
So you just pour the whiskey over it.
Yeah, we pour the wild turkey for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Which I think wild turkey sucks.
Yeah.
But I drink it every year on Thanksgiving as a Finn tradition.
And did you say he swallowed it? So it's gone.
No, he coughed it back up.
Okay.
He goes,
well, that's better than the other alternative I was thinking.
Well, yeah, we pooped it out and we cleaned it up and it's still in the shot glass.
So it's still there.
Yeah.
So when you say the second time, that is the second time?
That's the first time.
That's the first time. So what is the second time?
So back in 2018, some fireman from New York City says, hey, could you do a video for us for 9/11? And I said, yeah, for 100%. So I'm trying to think something really dumb and funny. So what do firemen do? I'm thinking, well, they walk upstairs all the time, They always do those big walks, right? Up all those, like the Sears Tower and all that, and 9/11 when that happened.
Yeah.
So, and I'm like, well, what if I'm on a stairmaster, but I'm fucking deadlifting like 500 pounds. I've never seen that.
How's that even possible to set up?
So I got 2 kids in there and I said, start putting plates on each side at the same time. When I come up, put a plate on. Every time I come up, immediately put a plate on as fast as you can. So we start with, I think a bar or something.
Isn't the bar hitting the steps though? Explain the stairmaster.
So it's got those bars in the side, right?
Yeah.
And then the steps.
Yeah.
So there's enough room, but I can't stand all the way up on it.
Okay.
It's just about like a 3/4 lockout.
Okay. I get it now. Yeah.
So I'm stepping.
So you're just holding it. Yeah.
Stepping up.
Yeah.
I think I got to 315 or 405 and I knew I couldn't do it, but it was too late. The stairs are going, it pushes me back. My leg straightens all the way out, pop the hamstring, and my finger got cut off like right at the same exact time. It got caught between the barbell and the handle of the stairmaster. And this is in a LA Fitness, right? There is blood everywhere. The finger is just dangling. It's still on, but dangling. And I'm like, holy fuck. All I did was immediately leave. I didn't say a word. I trailed blood out the door, get in my car, tell my wife, Mrs. Barbell, I said, I need the insurance card. Cut my finger off again. You fucking idiot. Are you serious? Yep. So she's waiting out in the driveway, shaking her head, gives me an insurance card, got my hand in my shirt or something, I'm going to the emergency room. They sew it back together, and that took, and everything was fine. You can't even hardly tell. This finger got cut off.
Did they ask you how this happened?
Yes.
And
what? They didn't believe it. And I had to show them a video. I had a video of it. There's a video on YouTube of it.
Okay.
I mean, it's so dumb. I don't know what I was thinking. But when my hamstring popped at the time, it didn't hurt that bad. My finger's all I cared about. So, no, my hamstrings hurt, but I don't know how bad. I asked the doctor. I think I hurt my hammy as well. And he's like, oh, you're fine. So, I don't know, maybe a month passes or 5-6 weeks. And I'm like, man, my hamstring really fucking hurts. But then like 6 months passes and I can't, everything, like all my power out of there is gone. So I'm feeling around and I feel this big like hole inside like the belly of the muscle. It didn't tear all the way off, but the belly split in half and there's like a fist-sized hole in my hamstring on my right side. So I have like zero power in there. I went to my buddy's a chiropractor last week because my hips were off a little bit. I was deadlifting. And I said, hey, could you look at my hamstring, man? Every time I get to like between 5 and like 600 pounds, once it gets a little bit like starting to get heavy, I always lean to my left side because I think that the hamstring's taken over. So he feels around. He's like, dude, I've never seen a hamstring like this in my life. How did you manage to tear it just in the belly, almost off like to the bottom, but not quite? And there's like a fucking hole in it. And I said, yeah, well, I don't know. What the fuck should I do? He's like, I don't even know if you could do anything now about it. So yeah, I'm living with half a hamstring because of that incident, like an idiot, and cut my finger off. I didn't know at the time my hamstring would turn out worse than my finger did. That's still here.
Now, that was 2018? And did you compete in squat and deadlift after that at any point?
No, that was bench only after that.
Okay.
I benched over 500 again in 2018 or 19, and then I tore my pec tendon again off the bone in 2020.
Did you see your bench go up when you pulled the other stuff out?
No, I never saw that. Like when I did everything else, it helped my bench for me. Like when I started pushing the squat more, especially when I was training with the little bridges and that, and pushing my deadlift to like I was squatting like 800 pounds, pulling over 750. Yeah, everything was just going up. My bench is like 550. I hit a bunch of times, 565 or something, and then then I tore my pec tendon and then I tore my hamstring in half. So I just kind of work around it. I do a lot more rack pulls.
So how'd you tear the pec the first time? The one that needed surgery?
Fucking Mark's gym. Out there, super trained. They flew me out to do a podcast. And it was Cinco de Mayo.
This was a regular session, though. This wasn't like benching in a dump truck or something.
No. That was before that. No, I went out there. I wanted to do something a little dumb, so I think it was 525. I benched before that last lift, and I snorted a line of salt, squirted 2 limes in each eye, and took a shot of tequila, and bench pressed 525 like an empty bar. I mean, it lightest it ever felt. And it was on a fat pad, which at that time, I had no experience on a fat pad. I didn't want to bench on it. So I said, fuck this, man. I'm going to do like 560. I don't want to do it on this fat. I need a regular bench. It feels weird. So then we moved to a regular bench. And I think that might have been that little extra range of motion too. I always think that like, why the fuck did I do that? I think that little extra range of motion fucked me. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. But yeah, then the next one I was fucking zoned in, like I thought for sure. I mean, I just hit 525 like a feather. I hit 550 several times prior to that. 2 weeks before that, I hit 550 like an empty bar. And then I go and hit that, and then right out of the hole, bam, pops right off. I had no idea what it was. I'd never been hurt at that time. I was probably 30, 32. Felt like I got struck by lightning. Did
it bruise at all?
Yes, immediately in the armpit region. That night, I went to Mark's house, drank a lot of beer. I drank fucking probably 10 beers in his podcast, went to his house. We did a video, his brother Chris, we did a video at his house where how I'm going to rehab it. So we filled this whole tub up with ice and beer. And I sat in there in like girls' shorts or something and drank beer. And then got in a hot tub, was drinking beer. And I fucking locked up so bad. Like, cause I was so dehydrated at that point. and it was like just tearing away, man. It was like the worst feeling ever.
Summer's here and so is the heat. I've spent most of my life training in unconditioned gyms, and I know most of you that are training in garage gyms, private gyms, black iron gyms, know what I'm talking about when I say the heat sucks. It kills your motivation to go to the gym, it kills your performance, but it doesn't have to if you keep your electrolytes up. That's why today's episode is sponsored by Element. Element is a tasty electrolyte drink with everything you need and nothing you don't. This means lots of salt with none of the junk. No sugar, no colors, no artificial ingredients, no gluten, no fillers, no BS. It contains an electrolyte ratio of 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium. Element can help prevent and eliminate headaches, muscle cramps, fatigue, brain fog, sleeplessness, and other common symptoms associated with electrolyte deficiency. Right now, Element is offering Table Talk listeners a free sample pack with any drink mix purchase. That's 8 single serving packets for free. And if you're an Element Insider, you have first access to Element Sparkling, a bold 16-ounce can of sparkling electrolyte water. Get yours at drinkelement.com. This deal is only available through the Table Talk link.
And then I had to fly home the next morning. Yeah, that was bad. That was a bad injury.
Was that tendon?
Yeah, the pec tendon reattached clearly off the bone. A lot of people don't know this part was 2 weeks after that I was supposed to get flown out to Orlando, Florida, because the WWE had contacted me about an open tryout. They had like 2 a year. So I had everything ready to go. Flight, all the shit, you know, going through all the back and forth you have to give them. And then I couldn't do it. So I contacted him and said, you know, I tore my pec tendon off the bone. Said it's going to be 6 months before I'm ready to go. He's like, all right, just let me know, keep in contact, which I did. And they never asked me to come back. Like by the end, maybe the last couple times I had messaged them back. Like, yeah, you know, you're getting up there in age, you know, so they're not going to invite me out. And that was it. That was the end of it, which probably was for the better because I probably would have died. You know, my attitude and my personality is just crazy. If you put a crowd in front of me, you times that by fucking 100, you know? And if I had to do that every night of my life, yeah, it'd be rough.
So then how long did it take you to get the bench back to where it was?
Completely back?
Yeah, completely.
I would say 9, 10 months. I was benching over 500 pounds at that 9 to 10 month mark, which was good because they had told me I would never be the same again. You know, like, you're not going to bench this, you're not going to bench that. And that just fueled me to prove them wrong. You know, fuck you, I'm Huck Finn and you're not. I'm whatever everybody here wants to be like, and you're fucking pathetic because I'm strong and you're weak.
Yes.
And then, yeah, I just fucking tore into it. Ernie, the first time, helped me. He had been through a couple similar stuff. So he helped me. And I think by 4 or 5 months, I was benching 405, which is crazy. And then I think by a year, I was 13 months or so, it's probably about 100%. You know, look-wise, strength-wise. I wasn't as strong, I would say, well, I benched like 535, I think, after that, or 545. So maybe 20 pounds less than what I was benching before the pec tendon, the first one.
Yeah.
You know, so I'd come back very good. And that was huge. That was a big driver. Like, fuck you, I'm going to prove everybody wrong. And you're not, I'm Huck Finn, I'm a fucking invincible, man. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I had the same type of conversation with the surgeon that did the first pec tear. And to this day, he's like, you'll never bench over 440 again. Yeah. Right. And I'm like, I'm confused. Like where the fuck are you pulling the 440 from?
Yeah, 440,
right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't get that.
Yeah, that was my opener when I benched 501.
And I tore it with 500, but my best was 550. But that was
you'll never bench 440.
Yeah, but that still wasn't equating to what I really should have done. So I'm explaining all this shit out to him, saying, so what you're really saying when I do the math backwards on all this is I should still be able to bench about 6, you know, with the shirt. Yeah. You know, and it's just weird as fuck how they just come up with these random ass numbers. You know, it's 440. And I've heard other people say 400. It's like, well, why not 300? Yeah. You know, like, now I've had other doctors after other surgeries tell me things like, you know, you don't lift over 40 pounds. I'm like,
fuck you.
You told my 80-year grandma the same thing.
I know it. Yeah, I know. That's the same. They told me, I think, my body weight. My body weight, I started benching my body weight by fucking, 10 weeks, 8 weeks? 8 weeks probably. 8 weeks I was benching over 225, right? I remember going to my physical therapist, and they're working on me, getting all the shit out, you know, all the scar tissue and all that. And the guy's like, dude, you're benching like 315. You don't need to come here anymore. And I'm like, is my insurance paying for this? Yeah. I said, then I'm going to come here and you're going to get everything out of this body I can. Get all that scar tissue broke up. I'm going to come here, put me through a workout every time. You know, I want as much as I can. And then the second time I tore it was the start of COVID.
Was that the same one?
Opposite side.
Okay.
So the last one was this side right here. And it was like right at the start. So we had no idea at that time what the fuck is going on. Right? So nobody's coming to people's houses. Fuck, nobody's even driving on the road.
Yeah.
So I'm out in the gym and my wife's fucking printing shirts in the garage. And I'd have her come out every 3.5 minutes to come give me a spot. And I think, like I said, I was 425 or 440, one or the other. And I was doing like 8 sets of 3, but the last set I was going to do max reps. And I did 7 sets of 3, no problem. And I called my buddy Cowboy Cam up, who's been training with me forever. I said, Cam, how many reps do you think I'm going to get on this? And he goes, 7. I said, fuck you. I said, 10. So my wife comes out there and she's like, I can't give you a lift. All you got to do is barely give me a lift off and just stand back and drink a beer. It'll be funny. And I'm going to pump these reps out. That's it. So she gives me a lift off, I get it out of the fucking bench. I go down. She's turning around where there's a window at to grab her beer. She goes to drink the beer and the fucking barbell's laying on me like this. Ah, shit. Yeah. And then I rolled. Obviously, she couldn't get off me. I rolled it off me, and I knew for sure it was torn. And I'm like, fuck me. I don't even know if they'll get me in to get surgery. And I need the surgery. It's not because they had electives, whatever that's called.
Yeah. Elective surgery.
I was so nervous they wouldn't get me in. I'm like, hey, I'm a professional athlete. I give them everything. I need to get in. I need an MRI immediately. And everything turned out great. I got the surgery and had rehab from that in 2020.
That was tendon again?
Yep. Clear off the bone again with a partial tear of the muscle, I think, off the tendon too.
Now, did that one bleed too?
Yeah, but it didn't bleed that bad.
Okay.
So I think it was 4 or 5 days into it, it started bleeding a little bit. And I'm like, fuck, I could do a push-up off the counter right now. I don't think it's fucking torn. So in my head, I'm like, yeah, this is nothing. And I go in and I go to the MRI, which MRIs suck.
Yeah.
I could barely fit in there. They got to put me in like sideways like this. And I'm not claustrophobic, but you get in that MRI thing and you're a big guy, fuck, it's terrible. You're in there like 20 minutes. And I'm like, yeah, I'm driving home and my doctor calls me. On the drive home, yeah, you tore it. Like, fuck, I didn't even think I tore it. All right, let's get surgery. And in for surgery again. You know?
That was the thing with my first one that was so confusing to me because it didn't bruise it at all.
Yeah.
Complete tendon rupture. Now, my whole pec was under my nipple.
Yeah.
Right. So Lily was telling me, oh, you just pulled it. And I'm like,
yeah, it's something worse.
There's something going on, man. Like my whole pec is under my nipple right now.
Man.
But it didn't bruise.
Yeah.
You know, so for a month.
That's when you're thinking, it's not bruising, it's not torn.
Yeah. I'm like, I didn't tear anything.
Yeah, nothing came to the skin.
No fucked blood. Up, you know.
Right.
So for a month, I'm like moving and trying to do shit. I couldn't get the bar out of the rack to bench.
Oh, God.
You know, so it was probably 6 weeks afterwards where I finally had it looked at.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh no, it's completely off the bone.
Was it the tendon or the muscle?
The tendon.
So so they'd use a cadaver tendon then? Right?
Yeah. Then
because after 20 days, that tendon dies. So I'd heard that right when I tore my first one. I'm like, I got to get in the cadaver tendon. You get one of those, you'll never be the same. So
yeah, they were able to pull it all back and put it all in there. Now, when I tore the other one, the tendon was attached and it was just muscle belly.
Right.
That on my everything, it looked like the Scott Mendelson.
Oh yeah, that fucking black.
Everything was just black. And
yeah.
I'm like, wait, this one is like minor compared to the other one that didn't bruise at all.
Yeah.
You know, but that's why I ask that, you know, because it seems like the ones that's just tendon only.
Yeah, they don't bleed that much. Right. That's what I didn't know the first time because I had seen that Mendelson picture and you think that's going to happen. And then there's just a little bitty thing in the armpit. And then by like day 4 or 5, there's a little bit in the bicep. Doesn't seem that bad. Yeah. But yeah, the tendon, when you tear that, does not bleed out that much.
You're like, thank God I didn't tear it. And then it's even fucking worse.
Yeah, it's worse. I'd rather have the muscle. I'd come back faster from a muscle.
Yeah, exactly.
That's easy.
Yeah.
The tendon reattachment, that sucks. And I remember waking up in the hospital, right? You go through surgery. and they say it's like a 2-hour surgery or something. And I remember coming through when they're wheeling me out, and I could see the time, and it had been like 4.5 hours. And I'm like, oh, fuck, Doc, what happened? Am I okay? Am I good? You guys didn't use a cadaver tendon, did you? It was the first thing I asked.
Mm-hmm.
No, everything was great. It just took a long time. And they said, which I am pretty proud of, that was the most muscular chest cavity he's ever seen in his life, and he recorded it. Like, he showed me the fucking tape of it on his personal phone. I mean, I want to throw up. I didn't want to see that shit, right? And I was coming through, my wife's in there, and I wake up again, like I'm still out of it. And then I wake up the next time, and she's in the room on the opposite side, and I had a full erection. I have no idea why. And then she starts making, she's like, you just went through a 4-hour surgery and you have a boner? What the fuck is wrong with you, Tom? I said, I don't know. I said, what the hell did they do to me back there? Why do I have an erection? So she took a picture of it. It's like, I've never seen anything so stupid in my life. I don't know what the hell happened. Must put something in the medicine or something.
No, that's so. When you went to rehab, did you do? When you go into to rehab these things, are you going in with the mindset of, I'm going to come back as fast as I possibly can, or I'm going to come back as best as I possibly can?
Both, 100% both. Before I went in and knew it was torn, I talked to a buddy of mine, Jacob Ross, who he's trained several pro athletes. He runs Luol Deng, he's a basketball player. He was his foundation, and just a lot of NFL players, and he helped Luol Deng come back from his pec tendon, right? So he knew a lot about coming back from those. So I got his help, and I said, what do I need? Give me a list for rehab. So like a slide board, the wheel that goes on your door, and I don't know, it was like 2 other things, which I already had bought prior to me getting the surgery. And then fucking once that, week 5, when I would start taking my sling off, he had a workout plan for me every morning before I went to work. And I would do that workout at 5 a.m. In the last 45 minutes of just, getting the mobility back in it first. And then I'd go to work and work a full shift. And then I'd come home and I'd go to physical therapy, right? And then I would train after that. I would do one arm or one side or legs. And every day I did that for 4 months like that. 2 times a day rehabbing and 1 time a day working out. So yeah, I want to come back as fast and as strong as I possibly could, use like peptides and stuff as well. Some company sponsors me, that Sermol.
They were around then?
Peptides?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. This is the 2020.
Oh, okay. Yeah. My brain fart.
Yeah.
Yeah. That, oh yeah.
To help them, supposedly strengthen the tendon and all that stuff. But yeah, man, it sucked. It's most people would not do that. If you get hurt like that, it's like, fuck, man. I'm not going to fucking do all that rehab. They might come back a little bit, maybe still work out, but they're not going to put in that kind of time to come back. I mean, that's a lot of time, dude, to wake up early before working in a prison, doing a full day there, doing another rehab, and then actually working out at night, like 8 o'clock at night, So yeah, I did everything I could. I came in here a couple years ago, I benched 470, pretty good, pretty clean. And at that point, man, I'm like, it's time to compete, man. 470 felt great. I'm within reach of 500 right now. And then I never competed like an idiot. I should have.
Yeah.
I should have set up a little thing there and went out and competed probably that year. But yeah, I didn't do that.
So if you go to set up your training, how does that look like? So let's say if it is going to be 500, right? And it is within, we need to preface this, it is within capability of doing, because a lot of people, when they go to do this shit, they have this dream goal. They want to bench 500, but realistically, it's probably 450. Right. So you have a realistic goal at 500. Then how do you back that off, and for how long?
12 weeks, right?
12 weeks, yeah.
12 weeks, and I'd go back and then start your percentages back at first week. Yeah. Which would start somewhere. I always started somewhere, I think, in the upper, like 78%, whatever it was. And then progressively get, progressively hit different numbers each week or every other, depending. Sometimes I do every other on bench, just depending how I felt. And then by the end, I think it was 2 weeks out, I would always have somewhere close to what I was going to hit. Like, I always like hitting that number, because you feel good when you hit. You're like, dude, I can fucking hit this all day long.
Well, when you back it off and say if it's 12 weeks out, you're talking like 420, 425 for 5s, maybe.
Right.
Something like that.
Correct.
On those days, and this is where people fuck up, and I'm sure you'll agree because you've seen enough other people train. Those aren't necessarily hard days.
Right.
But you need to stay with those numbers.
Yes. You want to get better. Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
So if it's 420 for 3 sets of 5.
Yeah.
After the second set, if it feels really good, you're not going 450, 460.
Hell no.
Okay.
You stick to the plan.
Yes.
Always stick to the plan. That is a lot of, especially people that, I guess, new people maybe that don't really know.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, dude, I feel better. I could do more weight than this. No. Stick to the plan. Save it for another week. You're going to be another week. Then you're going to hit that number. And it's going to just give you more confidence too. On top of that, you don't want to go out there and then I'm going 425. This is easy. Well, I'll go 440. Well, then what if you miss that, man? Now you're fucked. Now you don't want to miss a gym lift.
Well, out of all the lifters that you've seen, right, how many actually do that? It's a small percent.
It is. It's true.
And that's why they fuck up.
Yeah.
Because in their brain, they're like, well, if it's, let's make it for what a normal lifter would be. Maybe they're starting at 280. Right. So it's a 280. And then they think, oh my God, this was easy if I do 300. Then in their mind, each week. So that's now 20 more pounds at the end.
No.
You know, and that,
right. You want to save that for the end. You get on that platform now. Well, fuck, maybe your third attempt is 20 more pounds, right?
Yeah.
Depending on how you feel that day.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to go in there right off the bat and fucking blow your goddamn load on the table.
Yeah. So on those days where you feel, because not every day feels the same.
No, it's
as you're going on the days that you feel really good, you just bang the accessories. Harder.
Big time. Especially the first 4 weeks, 5 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Then you kind of pull them out a little bit as you get closer to the meet. But yeah, man, there's days, especially when I was younger, I would just fucking put my head through a wall. Like I was so fired up and I felt like I could lift anything, you know, and I was obviously not scared of any injury. I didn't know what that was. I remember just taking that bar and exploding so fast off my chest, I want to throw it right through the ceiling. Like 135, 225, 315. Just locked in so much that I could push this barbell over my head right now. And then taking every fucking set like that, man. And I would have like real sad country music playing as loud as I can get it. It's out in the woods, you know, where I live. And I got, I'd be better off in a pine box by Doug Stone blaring. And I'd hit like 405 and it fucking looked like, 45 pounds. And I get up and I just put my head through something, start bleeding. And it's just me and like Cowboy Cam out there. There's nobody else. There's no audience. There's nothing. But those are like my favorite lifts ever. Just that feeling. There's nothing better. I mean, it's like a drug, right?
Yeah.
It's like, holy fuck. I just hit 405, like 45 pounds. I'm bleeding. I'm out in the fucking gym with nobody. And nobody even knows this except for me and you, Or I feel that way and I'm like recently I'd be out in my gym and I'd be killing myself like as fucking hard as I could barely fucking move, like put my arm up. I'd work out so fucking hard. And I'm like, why the fuck am I doing this? It's like I'm trying out for the Bears. I'm 42 years old. Why do I keep doing this? But it's all I know. That's the greatest feeling in the world, man. I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger was right. It's like, you're coming in the gym, you're coming at home, I'm coming on stage, I'm coming day and night.
Yeah.
That's what the feeling is.
So when you psychoanalyze that, have you ever figured out why?
Yeah, I don't really know that word psychoanalyze. I guess you got to be kind of fucked in the head, right? I would imagine. Some of the best lifters of all time were guys that were fucked in the head. And I think because they're so crazy that it just helps to be a better lifter. Like you don't have any other thoughts. Some people get up there and they start thinking, right? Well, when you're fucking crazy, I don't think. There's no thinking. It's just doing. Like you're so zoned in, like you have horse blinders on and you're just I don't think of like, it's like the out of body experience. You don't even know you're doing it. Right. And other guys will get up there and they'll be like, man, I don't think I can do this. This is going to be a lot of weight. I don't think that. Just put whatever on there. I'm going to fucking kill it.
So then how do you manage the days that's not there?
Most days there are there. There is days where you're like, oh man, obviously fucking training forever. There's days you're like, worked all day, tired as fuck. I got to do this shit for the business. Why the fuck? I'll just not lift. Those days come up, but then you go in there, you drink some pre-workout, I put some music on, you start warming up. And once you get that first fucking set in, dude, it totally changes every time. It's just, you got to get moving. You don't go home and sit on a couch and eat fucking bonbons all day and not lift. You know, it's just, if I don't lift, man, like it fucks with my head. I gotta lift.
Yeah.
It's gotta happen. It's like brushing your teeth. If I'm brushing my teeth today, I'm fucking lifting weights no matter what. There's a way. There's something I'm gonna do. So, yeah, like I said, you got to be fucking a certain kind of crazy as well.
How do you manage that with trying to grow how do you manage that with the influencer side? Stupid fucking word, but how do you manage that with the online, trying to build the online brand?
Right.
Online brand.
Well,
because the online brand is you.
Yeah.
Right. But there is still the management of, you know, how you put all that together and prioritize all that.
Yeah. There's days where like I'll sit down in my barn. I have a fucking, you know, an old shitty table out there in the corner. It's real dark. I put my iPad on the table and I'll grab a beer and I'll do some drinking thinking. I'll sit there and I start writing down everything. Anything that comes to my mind, even if it's stupid, I just write it down. You know, I got a thing for video ideas, a thing for t-shirt ideas, a thing for fucking emails, a thing for this, a thing for that. And I usually do that like Saturday afternoons, Sunday mornings, kind of plan the week out. And I mean, it's a lot. And on top of that, I at the business, regular job, I have 3 little girls, so I got to train them.
Yeah.
Like I got to train, like as in all their sports, right?
So how old are they now?
The one just turned 12. One's about to turn 10 and 7.
What sports?
Right now it's a lot of softball, a volleyball. One's about to start basketball. That's about it right now. Cheerleading, stuff like that. But like the baseball aspect, like I was a good baseball player, so I could teach girls how to play softball.
Yeah.
You know, I can't teach them how to do math. You know, my wife can teach them that. But yeah, we're hitting. I put a batting cage above the gym, right? Stuff like that. But yeah, you got all that shit going on. Then you got the business. You know, it's a lot of work. But I enjoy that stuff too. You know, it's like not like going to work for the man where you're like, fuck, I gotta go fucking work. Got to work at the prison. You know, you go home and you're like, I can fucking create something out of nothing, and then it sells. And I'm like, holy fuck, I just did that. You know. Well,
some do, right? So if you were talking like t-shirt ideas,
that's true too,
right? So
there's winners and losers.
Oh, there's a lot of this is a good topic here. There's more losers than there are winners.
That's true.
Because what I've found is the designs I think will do really well. Don't.
I know.
And the ones I think are just like stupid.
Yeah.
They do really well.
It's
You're
crazy,
like,
man.
Fuck,
That's
man.
like the same thing with my posts. Like a lot of times I'll be like, this is the greatest post of all time. How could nobody like this? And then something stupid gets like 1 million views. I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah.
That's a whole mind fuck though there too, because you might have like 100 ideas.
Oh yeah.
Right. And that can be discouraging for a lot of people that are getting into this. Is if you just realize going in, like 90% of them are going to fail.
Right. Yeah.
But you have to have those 90% to get the 10% that actually do something.
That's true. A lot of people give up or quit. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So like, oh man, this didn't do well. I don't know if I can do this. Fuck that, man. You just keep fucking going, dude. Just keep going. It'll happen. It'll work. You just got to keep thinking of new ideas, keep putting shit out there. Eventually stuff will stick. But there's so many companies that fold after a couple of years, you know? I've never thought that way. If something like a bad shirt doesn't sell, fuck it. Move on to the next one. You got to put it behind you. You can't dwell on it. You know, there's something that's like not in my control. I don't give a fuck, you know? Like, well, I can control this. I'm going to make another shirt. It's going to be better.
Yep.
Right?
Like here's the next free mystery fucking item with reorder for $100.
Exactly. Yeah, you got some extra shirts going in there. That's true too.
Now with the content though, that can be a little bit different there.
Hold on, get another beer.
Yep. Because some things will pop for whatever reason, you know, where other things don't. Where what we hear is consistency is king. Would you agree with that?
Intensity equals density. No, consistency is the king. It really is. You just got to keep going, keep doing, keep posting shit, man. You know, another good piece of advice that I would say is don't be scared to put stuff out there. Like, I don't know if I want to do this. What if so-and-so thinks this? What if my grandma doesn't like it? What if my parents see it and they, you know, I've never thought that way. I'm like, I'm doing whatever. I'm going to post this. I'm going to post that. I have no thought ever like that. You can never, I don't care what other people think about me, right?
Mm-hmm.
You just be yourself. Do you. Don't be somebody else. Like, I'm not out here trying to be, I don't know, Larry Wheels or whoever these people are in the fitness industry. I'm Huck Finn. That's me. And if you don't like it, you can kiss our ass. You know, that's it. That's the way I think everybody should think that way.
So where do you draw the inspiration from? I mean, you have those ideas, but you're still following other people, right? Because that's kind of the whole thing.
You mean about like shirt ideas and
Not
stuff?
shirt ideas, but the content ideas. Because
content?
I think in today's world, all young kids want to be an influencer.
Well, I think when I first started, man, I did so much stuff that had never been done before. And I've seen it so many times where people have copied like my ideas.
Yeah.
Right. Especially in those first 3-4 years, like 14 to 17 kind of era. And I've seen stuff like that now, like, dude, this is popular. I did that fucking 10 years ago, you know? Most recently, like, I would say Joey Swole, right? You see those videos where I see this guy and he's saying, like, why is this girl doing this? This is the most disgusting thing I've ever seen, right? But it's a hot girl, you know, doing it. I'm like, wrong again, Joey. And then I give the examples, right? Like, I think it's hilarious. It's a great spin on it. And I didn't know him at all, right? Never met him. He messaged me like after the first post. And he's a good guy. He's, you know, he said all this stuff and he's from Chicago. So I've done quite a bit of them since his videos, like my take on the video. And I think they're funnier as shit. And they're very easy to do. Like he does his in a nice car, right? And I do mine in an old beat up, broken down golf cart, right? And then I got the flippers on and all that. So it's funny, I think. And he, the other day, I'm sitting there in my gym, studying for this test I had to take, right? It's like 10 at night, and I get a fucking FaceTime from Joey Swole. I'm like, I've never talked to this guy on the phone. I've never texted him. What the fuck's this guy want? So I pick it up, and I said, wrong again, Joey. And then he's just asking some questions, and he seems like a good guy, but I thought it would be funnier if we had a thing going back and forth, like we didn't like each other. Like a competition type deal, but it wasn't like that at all. And he's from Chicago and all that, so we're Bears fans. So he always texts me about the Bears now, and yeah, being a Bears fan sucks. God. Thank you to Pappy for making me a Bears fan. I mean, it's just heartbreak year after year. McCaskies suck. The owners, I made a video where the McCaskies, we're not going to win. Nothing will change until the McCaskies sell the fucking team, right? Was it George McCaskey? No, was it George, right? George Michael was the brother. George McCaskey runs a team. Man, that guy sucks. He has no balls. He hires coaches that are yes men, right? He doesn't want somebody bigger than the team. He doesn't want a Dan Campbell. That guy's a man. That guy for the fucking Detroit Lions, that guy is I would love to have him as the Bears coach, right? Instead, we get guys that look like they're a fucking dead corpse on the sidelines, you know? We have fucking Matt Nagy. We have fucking, who's that other idiot? Mark Trestman, you know? We have fucking Eberflus. You know, I wanted Jim Harbaugh. You bring all these people in, and then polls like the GM, we're happy with Eberflus. We're not going after Jim Harbaugh. I'm like, why the fuck wouldn't you go after Jim Harbaugh? He's one of the greatest coaches of all time. You have an opportunity. He wants to come here. We're not even going to talk to him. You're going to stick with Eberflus, who has fucking ruined the Bears? The guy doesn't know how to fucking manage a game. And then George, the owner, complete pussy, loves it. I don't know why. I don't know. The Bears, I don't know why I'm a Bears fan, because I've wasted most of my life. I don't know why I watch them. I don't know why I'm so into the Bears. Like, I could have done so much other shit with that time in my life than watch these fucking Bears that just piss you off every day.
Yeah, why not just be a Packers fan?
Oh, God, don't ever say that. Fucking cheesehead motherfucker. I hate the Packers, man. And they have whipped our ass for so fucking long, man. It's pathetic. It's pathetic, but it's all because of the McCaskies. They've ruined it. They put them on the Hard Knocks, that TV show. No swearing. right? They can't have any swearing. But why? This is football. People swear, right?
That's what they follow for the whole season, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, they follow them for the 6 weeks of minicamp.
Yeah.
There's no swearing was allowed. I'm like, this time you look like a fucking football team, man. What are you doing? I want some hard-ass motherfucker in there kicking ass.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like Mike Ditka. The last motherfucker that was worth a shit was Mike Ditka. And guess who hired him? George Hallis. Papa Bear Hallis. Then he died. Then the McCaskies take over and have made him shit ever since. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm kind of passionate about the Bears.
A little bit. I mean, you go back to the Ditka time, that's where that kind of fits maybe that's what inspired you to be who you were.
Like, yeah.
Right? Because that whole team, right?
I mean, this mustache is.
Yeah.
Which I dyed it jet black today in the hotel room. I think it looks pretty goddamn good.
It's dark. It's definitely dark. It's definitely dark. Nobody's going to miss that.
No. That fucking, that old fucking tickler right there, man. Holy hell.
Yeah, just for men.
Yeah, just for men. It was just for men for black guys.
Yeah.
You know, you go in there and you get the just for men. There's different hair colors, and there's a black guy one that says jet black. I'm like, dude, this got to be the blackest mustache you can ever get.
And how long does that take?
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
5 minutes, yeah.
And does it color your skin underneath it? No, underneath a mustache.
No, but it colors your skin.
Yeah.
Colored the sink I was staying at.
Mm-hmm.
It was between this or platinum gray or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking about doing that, but I never tried it, so I didn't want to risk it. You know, I'm going on this big podcast. So I went with the old black because I knew that would work.
The gray might have went over better though. Because people, it would be different.
Yeah, platinum gray.
Yeah, because people would wonder, like, what the fuck?
Well,
did you get that old that fast?
Yeah, right. Well, hey, next time I come out, I'm going gray.
Yeah, we'll go gray.
Platinum gray, man. That'd be awesome.
Or go goddamn, Louis used to do some crazy shit. He had pink, green. You know, fuck yeah, he colors shit all kinds of different colors, man. Holidays would be green, and then sometimes it'd be fucking pink or red.
Yeah, because I want to be different. You don't want to be the same. Mm-hmm. This world, it would be a boring place if everybody's the fucking same, you know? Mm-hmm. I love to be different. I want, like, my wife's like, why the fuck would you do that? I said, I want to look kind of funny on this podcast. Why the fuck wouldn't I?
Mm-hmm. But she's got to see you every day.
Well, that's true. She doesn't like it at all. She's like, you're so fucking ugly with that mustache. I said, wrong again, Mrs. Barbell. I am not ugly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God, this beer tastes good. Did you see the video with me and Hulk Hogan and this beer?
No.
Oh, fucking nuts, dude. So Nick, his son, right? I've known him for quite a long time. I've worked out with him a few times and probably known him for like, I don't know, 8-10 years. Anyways, I never met Hulk, right? And I'm chopping wood for the winter. I got a wood burning stove in my gym. So I'm out there chopping wood on one of my days off, and I got the music blaring. And then I got a fucking phone call. It's fucking Nick Hogan. That guy never calls me. He'll message me. I'm like, this must be important. Hey, what's up? He's like, hey, Dad's coming into Chicago. Like, he's our dad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, yeah? He goes, yeah, he's doing some meet and greets, man, but he wants to do a video with you. Just tell me where you want to meet him at, and we'll do it, right? So here's the locations. I said, all right, I can make, Lockport work, and it's at a Jewel Osco. So I go to work. A couple guys from my work come with me. You know, the white George Foreman and the rest of the idiots. We come into this place. There's 500 people waiting in line. And he's like, hey, when you get there, just tell Vo, who you are. So Vo's the manager. We get up to the security. I said, hey, tell Vo Huck Finn's here. You know Vo? Yeah. Comes back a minute. Follow me. So we go in there. Police are there. Got it. One of my buddies, the big boss man, has my cooler full of beer. And we go around, and he's meeting like one person. We're kind of around the bin there, like waiting. He goes, I could smell Huck Finn. I've never met Hogan.
Mm-hmm.
When I was a little kid, fucking 5, 6, 8 years. Hogan was like my hero. I mean, I still have his dumbbell when I first had a Hulk Hogan dumbbell. So we get in there, and I said, hey, he's like, yeah, Nick talks about you all the time, blah, blah, blah. And I followed you quite a bit. And I say, hey, I got this idea for this video. I'm going to say we're the Mega Americans, right? Because him and Macho Man were the Mega Powers.
Mm-hmm.
And then I say some other, he goes, all right, I get it. Let's do it. Let's do it. We got this. So, all right, let's go. So I stay, a bunch of shit. And then he immediately goes, I'll tell you something, brother. And then he just starts slapping the shit out of my chest slapping. I have no idea this is coming. I'm just taking it. He does it like 20 times. Louder than it's probably as hard as he could do it. And I'm fucking loving it. And then I'm fucking at the end, I'm chugging a beer and I crush it over my head as hard as I can till I start gushing blood out everywhere. There's police there. Nobody is drinking. This is a Jewel Osco. There is beer and there is blood everywhere. All over the floor. They had to stop for 5 minutes to clean up all the beer and the blood. But yeah, the video turned out great. It was funnier than hell. And
I'm assuming this is a one-take video.
Oh, yeah. Well, I told the White George Foreman, I said, White George Foreman, this is only one take. Do not fuck this up. There's a lot of pressure riding on you, brother. Because if you fuck it up, this is terrible. It's going to be bad. It's like the best video ever. And well, my one buddy did kind of fuck it up in the beginning when the big boss man is my beer caddy, right? I said, hey, throw me a beer, brother. This is after it's done, right? And me and Hogan are just talking. So he throws me a beer and it's a Miller Lite. Hey, we need a real American beer here, man. And then Hogan's like, hey, can I get one of those, brother? Hell yeah, give me another one. Let's go. And we sat there and talked a little bit and it was awesome. Couldn't have went any better. Great guy. Everything was fucking, I mean, it was like one of the greatest, I would say top 5 greatest moments of my adult life.
So it exceeded your expectations because one of the things is be careful of meeting your idols or who you look up to.
Right. That's so true.
Yeah.
I know what you're laughing about. So you said that, right? So you know Mitchell Hooper? Yeah. He's like the world's strongest man. He might be the greatest strong man of all time before it's said and done. He messaged me about a year ago, right? Hey, you want to do a video together? I've been following you forever. We'll do this, this, and this. I said, sounds great, man. But then something fell through. So I said, hey, we're going to be at the Arnold meet up or something. Yeah. All right. So he comes out to my booth at the Arnold last year. I had been drinking all day, right? I mean, and I have to be at a 20 because I don't want people to come meet me and be like, hey, that Huck Finn's a piece of shit, man. He's not who he says he is. I want people to see me like, dude, that guy is awesome. That guy had the greatest time ever. He's nuts, blah, 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 which I do. I mean, I almost kill myself. I party so much there. I'm the only guy there with hillbilly music blaring. People are having sex in the booth. Like, it's like a fucking Happy Gilmore crowd, right? It's insane. People are doing beer bongs. We're at a fitness thing.
Hey guys, if you're enjoying what you're watching, make sure to take a moment to like, comment, and subscribe.
Anyways, the end of the day, Mitchell Hooper comes over and we talked for like 15, 20 minutes, right? I don't remember a word I said to him. Not one word. And my buddy's like, hey, yeah, he came by yesterday. I'm like, what? I'm like, oh, fuck, man. Like, I text him next morning, hey, man, hey, great to meet you, man. I don't remember anything I said to you. I don't know if I said, he's like, hey, I've been following you. He told me he'd been following me since he was in high school, right? Which is crazy to think of that, you know? And then I'm that old now. But I felt bad because I have no idea what I even said to him, you know? So that was hilarious, I thought.
Did he tell you what you said?
Not at all. And he's never talked to me since. So Mitchell Hooper, if you're listening, man, I have no idea what I told you, man. I'm sorry. That was definitely not me talking. And that was the funniest part of the whole thing. You know? Yeah, that's crazy, man.
With when you're doing those Arnold things like that, is there any backlash? Like, is security coming over to you guys?
Oh, this is the greatest. Security loves me. All the cops and the firemen that are there, they watch from a booth up high, right? So it was like 2 years ago? Like I got the biggest fucking loudest music you can imagine. Country music's playing. And I'm chugging beers, having a great time, you know, taking pictures. And I keep looking up over my shoulder and there's these cops just staring at us. I'm like, oh shit. I'm gonna shut our booth down. I mean, we paid like 10 grand for this booth. The cops come down. Hey, we're huge fans of you, man. We love you. I said, are you serious? We thought you were going to shut our booth down. No, man. Hey, we want to give you this, this, and this. They gave me their pins. They gave me all their stuff. They loved me. I'm like, thank God, man. I thought you guys were going to kick us out of here. So yeah, no, we've had zero problems. We've actually had great luck, right? Because yeah, thinking and doing all that crazy stuff, you would think like, kind of wants it a little bit, but they loved it, man. So yeah, no, it's great. I love it. Love those guys. They're great. They're there every year. They watch me from the balcony right here and they fucking laugh their ass off.
What about the crowd? Oh
yeah. The best part, like the 21 beer salute I do every year for people that have died, call it the 21 beer salute. So I'll stand up on the table and I'll say, hey, at noon Saturday, there's gonna be a 21 beer salute, be there. So we get like hundreds of people over at the booth, and I'll stand up on the table and I'll say, all right, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to say, ready. And you're going to hold your beer out. Aim. You're going to tilt it a little bit. And then when I say fire, you're going to chug it. And I'm going to say, fire, fire, fire.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the whole crowd's doing it, man. It's fucking awesome. People love it, so. Yeah, it's been great, man. And on top of that, you get to meet all the people that follow you and meet new people too.
Mm-hmm.
You usually have a TV playing with all my stupid shit on, all my greatest hits, right?
What's been over the past couple of years? What's been some of the greatest hits?
God. Whew. Well, probably start with the greatest hit ever was the 4th of July video I did.
Yeah.
In the boat. I mean, people that don't know me know the video. That's how big that video got.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember if I talked about that video on the last podcast, but hilarious. Like everything that went involved that video, like with the boat and the people fishing and the no fireworks, no alcohol on this lake. And it was just funnier than hell. That I'm trying to think of some videos that were on like ridiculousness. Running through the vending machine was pretty wild.
What about in the last couple of years?
Last couple years? Oh yeah, breaking my leg. When I jumped this fat guy, Big Boss Man,
Mm-hmm.
we put him under a piece of plywood and we lit the plywood on fire, right? So he's underneath the jump. And this company, Maverick Bikes or something, sent me this bicycle, which is a battery-powered one. And I got it going. I came up and so I got a gravel driveway by the barn in the shop.
Yeah.
So I got a running start going 30 miles an hour on it, right? I've never jumped anything in my life. I have no idea how to do it, right? One take. I jump, boom, land, fucking leg makes a J. I didn't break my leg. I thought I did. I couldn't walk for like 8 weeks. I mean, it's in slow motion. It looks like the sickest thing you've ever seen when I landed. Everything broke off the bike, legs gone. I mean, that was stupid. That was very stupid.
So not a great promotional video for the bike then.
No, yeah.
I'm like, fucking broke.
I'm like, dude, yeah. I told the bike company, hey, I knew I needed a new wheel. They sent me a new wheel out and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was pretty stupid. Like I told you last time, I want to light myself on fire. That never happened yet.
Mm-hmm.
I still want to light myself on fire.
So what's the holdup?
The holdup is you got to get a guy that's in the stunt business to do it. Like I can't just light myself on fire, right? Or got to die.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you have to have him because they got to put a certain kind of gel on your body before they light you, right?
Yeah.
So that's what we're waiting for. I know a guy who knows a guy, pretty much one of those deals.
So you need like a permit.
Mm-hmm. You need a permit to get that kind of gel. And I want a professional doing it, dude. I don't want some idiot, some like carnival worker. Like the one time we had some carnival worker light that gym on fire. Like that was years ago. Me and your buddy Juji Mufu
Mm-hmm.
came down to Aurora where we had that Barbell Central, and there's a carnival worker showed up.
Mm-hmm.
And he had these rags for a finish line. And we lit it on fire. It was like 4-foot tall flames, like 20 foot long, 4-foot tall flames. And we put horse head masks on, and we had 225 pounds above our head and raced, right? By one, obviously.
Yeah.
And
In the gym.
And fucking the guy, they couldn't get it out. So they put fire extinguisher. I mean, shit was everywhere. I mean, that, like I said, that gym was fucking nuts.
Mm-hmm.
It was wild. That same place, I, broke the vending machine and all that.
Yeah.
That other shit.
And they were cool with you just lighting the gym on fire.
Yeah, the guy that owned it was crazy as fuck. He was nuts, man. He I don't know what happened to the gym. I've heard he didn't pay the bills or something. That's when they shut it down. But yeah, wild place. Anything you could think of was happening there.
Mm-hmm.
That was the Wild West.
So then what was it like training in there and managing all the stupidity?
Well, training in there was great, right?
Yeah.
When you're training, like I said earlier in the podcast, that you're very focused on your training.
Yeah.
But after that, man, it's just like, dude, whatever you want to do. Fuck, who gives a shit? Light the gym on fire, run through. Well, when I ran through that vending machine, he was kind of upset about that because it was his vending machine. He didn't like rent that. He like had bought it or something, I guess, through the gym. I don't know. But yeah, it was a Red Bull machine. And when I split that open, right, that wasn't the original idea. The original idea was I was going to hit it so it swayed, edit the video, and then I was going to pull it out with my cock, right? I was going to tie it up and then tie it around my dick and then put wheels on the bottom of it and then just pull it out. That was the original idea I had. But instead, I went and fucking ruined it and blew the fucking thing, like shattered it. Shit went down my mouth. Like, I think I swallowed a bunch of fucking shit that's in those bulbs, coughing all night. But man, that video was hilarious. And the guy that owned it told me, I don't know if it's true or not, that Red Bull called him about that. and wanted to know like if that like what happened and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
But I do know for a fact that when I went out to the LA Fit Expo later that year, the guy that is like the head of Monster, like one of the big shots of Monster, loved the video and started sending me Monster out all the time.
So there you
He
worked
loved
out.
it. He wanted to play that, but he couldn't because of copyright infringement stuff. You know, the trade.
Yeah, I get that.
But yeah, they loved it, man. The Monster, I'm like, yeah, fuck Red Bull.
Mm-hmm. So with gym environments, the way that was, in a lot of the gyms that I've been in, have you seen fights in the gym?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
mostly women.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Those women were fucking nuts. Like I said, at that time, we probably had, between the men and the women, 13, 15 people that were in the top 10, at least in the country at that time, or all-time world record holders. Like, there was a lot of strong motherfuckers in that gym. And yeah, there was a lot of crazy shit too, right?
Yeah.
Which I love, man. I love shit like that.
Well, the drama leads into other things, and shit like that.
Yeah.
So then with that, because it brings an interesting perspective if you look at the Mike Van Wyck and Nippert thing.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I saw
right?
that video.
So you see that.
Yeah.
And how do you see that? Right, because there's different ways to see it, right? Because there's ways to see it that we kind of grew up with this kind of shit happening all the time.
Yeah, and now it's like a huge deal. Like they're like, right?
Yeah,
they arrested him.
Oh, I don't know what really happened.
Didn't he get like I thought he like arrested or something?
Well, they kicked him out of the gym.
That stuff's happened in gyms. Every gym I've been to, except like a lot of fitness.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. All those hardcore gyms. You see it like that all the time. It was no big deal.
Mm-hmm.
And now you see it online and people are like, holy shit, did you see this?
Yeah.
You just throat punched that guy.
Yeah.
Well, he was talking shit to him, right? Or something? Is that the deal?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm not either. I saw the video and I knew it was a big deal.
Yeah. My first reaction to the whole thing, because I think we pulled a video from it, was I don't know what mental state he was in, before all that. Because when you see stupid shit like that, typically there's something that leads to it.
Oh, yeah.
Like the shit we've seen in the gym.
Yeah.
It didn't just spontaneously come out of nowhere.
He didn't just go do that,
there's shit that just built up to that.
Yeah.
Which got to a point which was, something like that probably would have been, if something like that would have happened in cruise I was in, somebody would have said, dude, like, what the fuck?
Right.
Like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like this, you don't go do that shit out of fucking nowhere.
Right.
And so I didn't know what circumstances kind of led it. If it was scripted,
Well, you never know that too.
Yeah.
To get more people to fucking follow you or watch their video. That could have been true too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know those guys at all either. I just saw it on the internet like you.
Yeah.
But obviously, I've seen that kind of shit happen in gyms.
Way worse.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah. Fuck, I've seen people get choked out in gyms. I mean, everything. Knocked out in the parking lot. Gunfire. I mean, and Aurora it's a bad town.
Yeah.
Where that gym was at. It's not where I live. I live out in the middle of nowhere in the country, I would drive all the way in there, and that's the suburbs of Chicago, so it gets a little rougher in there.
Yeah. Well, the interesting part is within those crews, when it was time to train, everybody trained.
Oh yeah.
And they were all supportive of each other.
All helping when it was over. All spotting.
Yeah, it's when it was over.
Yeah,
if there was some bullshit,
yeah.
Then that would kind of take in the parking lot or where would kind of go from there.
Right.
Where, in that one circumstance, I'm like, well, this is kind of fucked up because it's right in the gym. It's a commercial gym.
Yeah.
There's cameras.
Everywhere.
Like everybody would know that there's cameras.
God, that's another thing. There's cameras everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to work out outside the gym. There's cameras out there watching me at this gym.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like I said, what idiot works out outside the greatest gym in the fucking country?
Well, you.
Me.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, God.
So it makes you wonder if all the fuckery would have still happened had everybody had cell phones and video cameras, to be able to capture everything.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, because in the old days, there was none of that shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you got away with so much more stuff. I mean, I'm just not even talking about like lifting or anything. Just when I was at like, I don't know, in high school or something, say, I mean, we used to teepee houses or fucking ding dong ditch or stick forks in people's yards, like 1,000 forks.
1,000 forks? I've never heard that one.
Oh, yeah. Fork in somebody's yard was tough because they had to pick them out. You can't mow over those.
Oh.
So we'd sit there and stick 1,000 forks and that was the ultimate, dude. Or around Christmas time, you fucking go deer humping and you fucking mount the deers or like they're fucking.
Mm-hmm.
People have those deers outside.
Oh, okay.
Right?
No,
So
I
the
get that.
spotlights
Yeah.
on you, it's on their house and two deer fucking.
Yeah.
God, we used to do that.
Yeah, I've done that one. The fork one, I've never heard that, but that's fucked up.
Oh yeah, you can't do
That's
that
real
now.
fucked up.
It's going to be on camera.
Yeah.
Like Ring doorbell camera. I mean, everybody's got a camera.
Yeah.
So I feel bad for the kids growing up nowadays. Can't have fun like that.
Mm-hmm. They probably are. You know, it's just.
Oh yeah.
Eggs.
Well,
I mean,
egg
that was whatever. That was stupid. That was like toilet paper, like stupid.
Well, one time I remember we made a guy go into, what is that, adult bookstore, and said, hey, go buy one of those gay magazines, you know, guy magazine.
Yeah.
And we're going to cut all the dicks out of it. And we're going to put it on the guy's car. And we're going to saran wrap the whole car with dicks. I mean, that was fucking great too, dude.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Well, yeah, nowadays you can't get away with that stuff.
No. I'm thinking back to some of the other stupid shit. Lighting fucking the putting shit.
Oh yeah,
shit in a bag on somebody's door.
Light the bag of shit on fire.
Yeah,
called the shit poop.
Yeah.
I remember putting a freezer on top of the school roof that said something stupid on the freezer, right? And it was heavy that we climbed up a ladder with a freezer the day before we graduated and put it on the roof. I'm like, there's no way this old janitor guy's going to get this down.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's going to see it. Yep, we got there. Fucker was down. Couldn't believe it.
Oh, really? They got it down?
Got it down somehow.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
There was one time, remember, you just have the large metal slides. Like, I don't think they have those in place.
Oh, yeah.
Because people get burned.
Right.
I had this fucking idea that I was going to take gasoline and put it on the top of the slide and light it on fire.
Oh, yeah.
Never thought for a minute that it would actually run down the slide.
Yeah.
Right.
This
thing torched and then, boom, goes down the whole fucking playground is.
I'm getting an idea.
On fire.
Yes.
Right. It's just like, and I'm bolting away,
Yeah. Right.
Hiding the bushes and shit.
Yeah.
Every house light around the school comes on. Fucking cops start coming. I'm like hiding in the bush.
Yeah.
Never expect, because you'd light streets on fire.
Right.
I mean, like Molotov cocktails.
Yeah.
Like a normal type of thing.
Right.
You couldn't get away with that shit anymore.
Oh, hell no.
Once I put, I shit in a lunch bag, just regular
I love
bag.
that kind of talk.
Right. This fucker was fucking with me at school, right?
Yeah.
So it's when he, you got the lockers and shit. So when he turned around, before he shut his locker, I threw the shit, the bag of shit in his locker, and it shut.
Oh, that's awesome,
whole fucking hall stinks. Like,
oh yeah, is it his locker?
Because everybody's got to go to class immediately, right?
It, man.
So the whole thing is just, and nobody ever, I guess until now, nobody ever found out until who did it, right? But the whole fucking school smelled like shit.
Fucking hilarious.
Now
they probably DNA shit and test that shit.
Yeah. Well, there would be fucking cameras.
Oh yeah. They'd see it on camera.
They'd see it on camera, so you wouldn't be able to do it. So kids are fucked today. They can't have any fun.
I know.
They can't do anything.
They can't. No, that's hilarious, dude. You threw a bag of shit in the guy's locker.
Oh yeah, fuck him, man. I mean, that's how pissed I was. Like,
That's
fuck this guy, man. There's nothing else I can do.
There's no bag of shit.
Yeah, and I knew it was gonna smell worse than dog shit because it's already been sitting outside,
humans.
right?
Yeah.
So I just. Now getting there was the problem, right? Because I had to take the brown bag and put it in like a Ziploc bag.
Oh man,
right? Because when I opened the Ziploc bag, it was like, oh my god, this is fucking bad.
Damn, that's good. I wish I'd have known that trick back then.
Well, the lockers are small. There's fucking 100 lockers, so they can't figure out which locker it's coming from.
Imagine having a piece of shit in your locker. Like, what the?
Oh, it was a full dump, man. It was all of it.
Now, did you just shit in a bag, like put it over your ass and shit in it?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, that wasn't easy to do either. But I had better mobility back then.
Yeah, right.
So it was actually, I think what I did is I used one of the big fucking bags.
Oh yeah,
one of the big brown bags. Yep. So then I cut it, to make it smaller because I didn't think it would smell as much.
So good.
It needed to be in a smaller bag.
Yeah,
like a lunch bag. So a lot of thought went into this.
God, that is awesome.
Yes. Man. Yeah.
I did so much stupid shit similar to that forever, and like you said, the cameras are everywhere. You can't do anything nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
I remember my graduation. They said, if you do anything stupid, you're not going to graduate. So I'm like, I don't know. Maybe they're serious. I better not do anything stupid. I'll just act like I fell. They can't do anything like that. So I had no pants on, and you go up these stairs and you go across the stage and announce your name, you get your diploma. Well, I ran up as fast as I could and then tripped over this top step, and my fucking gown went over my head, and the crowd got silent because they thought they didn't know I did it on purpose. They thought it was an accident. So everybody felt sorry for me. So then I got up I'm like, oh, I'm okay, and I put the gown back down, and I did the worm across the stage, got my diploma, off I went, still graduated.
Yeah, so this shit goes way back.
Oh, yeah, that's I posted a picture of me yesterday. It was either my junior or senior year, and I wore Hooter shirts every day, and they'd make me take them off constantly, right?
No, I get that.
So I put 2 on, so if I maybe take it off, I got to take my picture, that if I got another one underneath, right?
Yeah.
So they take my picture, and I try to look like the biggest, dumbest person you've ever met. So I had my mouth wide open. I'm looking off in the distance, right? And I posted that, and somebody's like, man, that's called consistency, man. You've been an idiot for like 35 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. I have.
Yeah.
I was voted class clown.
No, we couldn't wear like rock concert shirts.
Censorship. I don't believe in that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here, pop this beer. Now, you want one of these? I know you drank one last time, you alcoholic.
Yeah, let me have one of them. Let me try this.
Yeah, it's a real American beer.
I fucking hate the taste of beer, but
this is a different taste. It almost tastes like old style.
Like I'm gonna know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I love last time you drank a beer and you're like, yeah, this is the first beer I've drank in 20 years. And you said, oh, that tastes like shit.
Yeah, it tastes like shit. It tastes like shit the same way. Last time I had a beer was when you were out here before.
Yeah. And before that, it was like 20.
No, he swished it in his mouth.
Oh, he did swish it, didn't he?
Are you not supposed to do that?
No, he just drank it.
He swishes it in his mouth like it's like wine or something.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, the palate's cleansed.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not supposed to do that?
No, you just like almost don't even taste it.
Yeah, just
So the whole point is to not taste it?
yeah. You get that little bit of an aftertaste. I don't think I've ever swished it in my mouth. Unless I'm
I guess that doesn't taste as bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, why would you swish it in your mouth?
Isn't just supposed to the taste?
It's like
now that I know you're not supposed to, that it does taste like shit. So that's confirmed.
Alcoholic now.
I think
So
he
that's
is.
fucking confirmed.
Yeah, now he's gonna drink constantly now.
So the whole goal is to not taste it.
Yeah. It's I mean, you're used to like drinking Boone's Farm, right? Swish it around your mouth. Mm. Oh God, that tastes good.
Oh, I see.
See the picture of Hogan on there? It's hilarious.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, with the flag. Good thing it's brewed in the USA. It'd be bad.
Oh, it is.
It'd be terrible if it said brewed in like, China. Real American beer is brewed in China.
Yeah. Where's it brewed?
You know what? I don't know that. I'm not sure.
If it's Anheuser, it might be here.
I think it is Anheuser because the guy that we bought it from, it was like this. We bought it on the way down at this old like convenience store, like out in the middle of nowhere, dude. And he said that the Anheuser-Busch truck brings it. So
Yeah, it might be local. My dad probably makes it.
Now, do you drink when you're training heavy, kind of like Dan Bell?
I mean, I have, yeah.
Did it help?
I think so. I think it helps. I mean, not getting drunk, but drinking a beer, 2 beers, or a shot or something, especially before a big lift. Like a shot helps. I used to always do a shot before my last deadlift.
I assume you're not supposed to swish the SWAT or.
I always swished it in my mouth.
Yeah, because that's going to taste even fucking worse.
No, yeah, I've always, not in the beginning of the competition, but towards the end, I'd always start drinking. Yeah. Remember, God, this was back in like 2017 or something. That Animal had the cage and they invited me out there to compete and deadlift against a guy named T. Cummings. And we were going back and forth, and he said something. I squatted 400 pounds in rollerblades, and he said something to me. I said, and he made fun of her or something. And I told him, don't talk to me unless you bench 500 pounds, you piece of shit. Well, that's how it started, right? So then with the animal cage, you're like, well, we'll deadlift against each other, which was my worst lift. I mean, it's good, but out of the 3, that was my weakest. So we did, and the guy that owned Animal, the guy that ran it, like Schwartz, or I can't remember his name, Schwartz or something. He goes, no alcohol, Finn. Can't have alcohol in here, okay? I said, hey, no problem, man. I'm gonna come in here. I'm gonna deadlift. I'll put on a good show. All right, thank you. So I didn't bring beer with me, right? So we get in the cage. I'm back there, warming up and getting my shit on, and I don't know, we're starting to build up, 135, 2 1/4. Now people start throwing beers over the cage at me. What the fuck am I going to do? Of course I'm going to drink them. So now I'm fucking cheers at people. I got the Stone Cold music playing because they all had rap or hard rock or something like that going. Well, I made them put my phone in every time, right? To play like I'm Real American, Stone Cold, The Ultimate Warrior, stupid shit. And man, I got it going, dude. I was drinking beer in there. We're fucking slamming the cage. I'm shaking the cage. We ended up tying like at 7. I don't even remember what it was, 750, 60, whatever it was. But yeah, no alcohol was in the cage, except people threw me the alcohol in the cage. Didn't expect that. I was not invited back.
Yeah, but that had nothing to do with you.
No, it had nothing to do with me. But the thing was that I think that's where those WWE guys saw me at, right? Was at that moment. Because it happened a week after came back from the Arnold.
Okay.
So I think that's kind of how all that started. Which I put a hell of a show on. I mean, that's what they want, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I want to see is a show.
Was there ever a time where you drank too much when you were training?
Yes.
So what's that story?
It's a great story. I was down in Texas, Dallas, Texas, with Icon Meals. Well, I love Icon Meals. They've sponsored me for fucking 8 years, probably. Todd is the owner, is an awesome guy. They flew us down there for an event with the sponsored athletes. And Mike O'Hearn was there, and this Heath Evans, who used to play football, he's an NFL player. We did a meet and greet outside their little facility in Frisco, Texas. So I get a case of beer, cooler like I have today, and I drink a full case of beer throughout the day. Mike is next to me, right? Sees the whole thing. I give a guy $100, just a guy like a fan or something, follower. Say, hey man, here's $100. Can you go get me a case of beer? We can't leave. It comes back with another case of beer. Start drinking that. I literally drank, I'm guessing at least 30 to 35 beers that day in the afternoon time between 11 to 5. So, and Mike had seen all this, and they're like, hey, when it ended, they're all going out to that gym, Destination Dallas, big gym down there. They said, hey, we'll see you tomorrow, Finn. I said, I'll see you guys tonight. I said, I'm going to the gym, man. Yeah, bullshit. I show up to the gym. I didn't feel too drunk. I mean, I knew I was kind of drunk, and I get in there, and I'm like, and all these guys are all in good shape. I said, I'm bench fucking 500 pounds. And I said I benched 500 pounds drinking 50 beers, which it was like 30-some beers. That was a lot of beer. So I told Mike, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to bench 500 pounds. I need you to hit me in the head with a chair. Heath, you lift off for me, all right? All right. So I get under there. Heath lifts off at this point, 315. And as 315 goes up, I feel in my head, I'm dizzy. It's like sideways, dude. I feel like the weight's crooked, right? And I'm like, holy fuck, dude, I can't do this, man. This is stupid. I shouldn't have never even came in. And Heath called me a pussy. You fucking pussy, let's go. You can bench 500 pounds. And when he called me a pussy, fucking triggered. I'm like, you're fucking right. I'll fucking bench 500 pounds. Fuck this. So I benched 455 for my last warm-up, and we did a little walkthrough what we're going to do. 500 comes. Mike hits me as hard as he can. Fucking racks the chair around my head so it's in my neck and pulls it off. I fucking go down. Boom. Bench 500 pounds like it was nothing. Some guy throws me beers flying out everywhere, crush them over my head. Mike hits me again with a steel chair, and that's all she wrote. Awesome video. And that, I can't believe that was like one of my greatest feats of strength of all time.
Your greatest 500-pound PR.
Oh, it was. I mean, to have that much beer in me and to still bench 500 pounds, holy fuck. Because they had seen me drink all day, so they knew how much beer I had drank. They'd never seen anything like that, obviously, in their life.
It makes you wonder if somebody's listening to this thinking that's the PR I want to break.
Good luck. That's a fucking hell of a PR, man. And like I said before, it's not like I drink beer every day. I could not look like this if I was drinking beer every day. There's certain instances like events, some weekends, right, where I do drink a lot of beer. But I don't go out to the gym and just get hammered drunk and start lifting weights, right? That's 100% serious, right? Just like the videos. You go on there, you get in there, you do your work, right? I do my other work. I go to my job, and then on a weekend, you kick back a little bit and have some fun, right? After you get your work done. Same with, training's the same way. You can't just, some people think like, hey, Huck Finn drinks beer every day. And he looks that good and he's that strong. Oh, fuck, I could do that. That's not true. You can't. You have to have, I eat my saying says, I have a saying on a shirt, right? It says, eat like a bodybuilder, right? Train like a powerlifter, and drink like an alcoholic, and fuck like a porn star. That's how you got to live life, So my eating 85% of the time is perfect, right?
So what does that look like? So let's go over that.
Well, I got a lot of help. In the old days, it was a little more work, right? Before I had a sponsorship. But since I can remember since high school, I always ate very good, which is meat, rice, maybe a vegetable or something here and there, tons of eggs, protein shakes. Minimum every single day is 250 grams of protein. That's the number I always keep track of.
How much of that would be supplemented?
I would say 80 grams, depending on the day or what I eat.
Yeah.
But if I didn't hit that number, I would take, whatever that.
Sure.
End of the night before I go to bed, I always have a protein shake. I've been doing that since probably junior year of high school. I don't know why. I just got into drinking a protein shake before bed and a scoop of peanut butter. Every single night of my life, unless I'm highly intoxicated. Like tonight, I probably won't do a scoop of peanut butter and a protein shake. I don't know if I read that somewhere or what, but that's just been a staple, right? Makes it easier now because I have that sponsorship that my meals come to my house every week and they're simple.
I work in the microwave.
Where I work at, you can't go out to eat. All my shit I pack and I have to eat that. Stick in the microwave, perfect meal.
Yeah, I've been eating icon meals for several years.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so what's your favorite ones?
I right now, that Titan burrito, the Titan breakfast burrito, I love that. I love a lot of their brisket meals. I like a lot. The newest one, which I have right here, is their blazing bacon cheeseburger. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know. Around the 4th of July, they came out with this protein macaroni or something. I don't know what it was called, but it was like the hottest stuff ever.
I love that one.
Me too.
Yeah, I love that.
I ate a whole pound of it several times. I wish they would bring that back. So I loved it as well. I did a video for them like that, but yeah, no, that's, it makes it easier. And then when I'm getting closer to summertime, I kind of watch it a little bit. I watch my carbs and fat, right? So I usually use that app. I can't remember what it's called. MyFitnessPal. And then I'll start tracking my carbs and fat a little more. After summer, I kind of do, whatever. I like to look good naked. I like to look good with my shirt off. So I will track about mid-April, start that. It's just what I've always done. Just like, I remember in high school, my dad would cook me steak like all the time. I'd eat a bowl of steak with my hands. Never use silverware. I don't believe in silverware,
Unless it's in somebody's yard.
Unless we're forking a yard. That's why I say the silverware. That's so good.
So then what does the training look like?
Currently? I have Jacob writing my training out for me, which is great because I don't rely on people to write my training out too much because I can do it myself, but it's also great having somebody write your stuff out for you, then you don't have to think, you just do. That's a good thing. I told him because I got stabbed in the neck in a bar fight, right? About 3 months ago. Can you see that scar right here?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, shit.
Yeah. I choked some guy out, right? Like rear naked choke. And then his friend stabbed me right in the neck. I didn't even know I got stabbed.
He's back here saying that's bullshit.
No, I didn't know I got stabbed. And then blood started running my neck. I thought it was sweat.
Yeah, he's still shaking his head. It's bullshit.
Yeah, the white George Foreman don't know shit.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I had skin cancer.
Yeah. You whacked yourself with a weed whacker.
No. They had like the most common type of skin cancer, like balsamic vinaigrette or something, right? And it was very small. I just kept cutting myself there. I'm like, what the fuck is this? So I went to the dermatologist. Like, yeah, we'll cut that out. It's no big deal. Blah, blah, blah. So it's, tiny. And then I get it cut out. Like, yeah, the plastic surgeon's got to sew you up and it's a big wound. Like, what the fuck? It's hardly anything. So then they cut me from all the way up here. It was right below my ear. So, yeah, anyway, I got
the bar fight's a better story.
The bar fight's great, right?
Yeah, it's way,
stabbed in the neck. Now it's just,
it's way
skin
better.
cancer's stupid.
Whatever.
So, yeah, anyways, I got that cut out and then stitched up, and you're not supposed to train, right? And I'm like, oh, fuck, okay, I'll give it 5 days. They say don't train for 3 weeks.
3 weeks?
That's what they told me, due to the stitches and stuff. On day 5, I'm going fucking nuts. I can't sleep in a bed either because you can't bend over. You're not supposed to lay all the way down or bend, all that shit.
Yeah.
I'm sleeping out in my gym. That's the only recliner I have. So I'm living in a barn at this point. I'm going inside. I'm having relations with the wife. Then I'm coming back out to my barn and sleeping out there, right? Which was great. It was fun. Day 5, I'm like, fuck this. I'm doing arms. I'm in the kitchen getting my shit ready in the house. I fucking sneeze real hard, blow 2 stitches out, start squirting blood across the fucking room. I'm like, I better leave it alone. So that's like the only time or freshly off of surgery, is about the only times I've ever not trained.
Mm-hmm. So what does the training look like? I mean, what are you doing?
Oh yeah, well, getting way behind. So I asked Jacob then to write my programming out. After that, I've had a strain pack and now this fucking shit in my neck. So he's writing me out more of a bodybuilding style programming, slowly introducing me back into the barbell on the incline, like I was talking about. At first, it was a lot of just lower upper days with a lot of different drop sets, you know, different wave sets, all that bullshit, you know. And he did write me out this one program called Pump City, which I made a video of because it's fucking hard. It's with one band. Like, there's no way one band's going to kick my ass. Like a red band.
Yeah.
That I got from you.
Yeah.
Dude, it's fucking hard as fuck. Like, by the end of it, I can't move like my arms, anything.
So what is it? So what is this training? What do you do?
You know, it's like a superset of the first 5 lifts or 25 reps a piece. So it's like, God. Former, what is it? You got it on the phone? Because I have to look at my phone constantly when I do it because I'm an idiot. It's like a band pull apart, right? Lat raises right off the bat. Pull aparts right here. High low from the top down.
Yeah.
Then upright rows. Then curl to press.
Yeah.
Right? 25 reps of each, back to back to back. Take a 3-minute break or something. Do it again. Do it for four times. Then it gets harder. Now, after that, we do 400 reps of a row. So both arms, 400 reps in as little amount of time as possible. After that, we have 400 reps of the tricep push down. Little amount of time as possible. And then 400 reps of a reverse curl. And it is the fucking sickest workout like ever. I never thought a band could do that, right? You got one band.
400 reps of anything, it's going to fucking kick you.
But I would do 1,000 reps of that band.
Yeah.
Like tricep extensions and shit. But my God, and that first 4 sets, right, are hard as fuck. Right. So if you're listening and you think that that's easy, I'd much rather bench 500 pounds. Right. I think that hurt worse.
So how many days a week would you do that?
Oh, that was like a Saturday.
Yeah. Okay.
Like an off day, you know, a pump day.
Like a recovery type.
Yeah. Nothing like a regular day. But it was fucking like the hardest day of the week. I'd much rather do shoulder presses, bench presses, anything like that. So yeah, he programmed in a lot of box squats, 2 lower days, 2 upper days, like I said. And now we're starting to do more like 5 days a week, like a back day, shoulder day, bench day, leg day.
Like bro split.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right now. And a lot more different, like I said, drop sets, wave sets, stuff like that.
What about cardio?
Cardio's for pussies. That's what I always said. That's my shirt, right? That was a good selling shirt. No, like 10 minutes on a stairmaster. That's about it. And I got one in my gym. So I get on the stairmaster and, you know, watch Pornhub or something for 10 minutes and good to go. What
was your best selling shirt?
The best selling shirt in the last, like I said, probably 4 years has been that shirt he's wearing.
Yeah. Okay. That came after the liver. Was that
the Liver King? Yeah. When he kept eating those testicles, and I said, I'm the real Liver King, you know, because I drink all this beer. My liver's got to be king after all the shit I've done. So yeah, I said, real alphas don't eat testicles. They eat pussy. And I said that after this video. That video went pretty viral. And everybody loved that saying. So I said, let's throw it on a shirt. And that sold like a motherfucker. Originally, it was Let's Get Stupid back in 18.
Yeah.
And Okay, bye before that. Because I used to say okay, bye after everything I'd said. Every post I made, that was from a mentally challenged guy that lived down the street from me growing up. Every day he'd go by, and we were talking to him. He'd end every conversation, mid-conversation, and just go, okay, bye. Put his head down and walk away. Every time. Like, so me and my dad, my brothers, we'd always say the same thing. Hey, okay, bye. When you're done with the conversation, no matter what time it is, you're done. Okay, bye. It's over.
Yeah.
So yeah, that took off right off the bat. 8 Man Strong made those shirts for me. And I sold like 100 shirts in like a day. And I was like, man, if I sold 100 shirts in a day, and then I did it again maybe 3 months later, hey, can you make me a couple more? Like maybe 100 more? And then build the chest, fuck the rest shirts too. I wonder like if I could make a business out of this. So that's when I bet on myself and did it, which is the smartest move I've ever made by far.
Did you start with screens or heat presses?
We started with screens.
Start with screens.
Yep. We looked on, at that time, it was Craigslist. Not Facebook Marketplace is where to find shit now, but I remember looking at it and finding this one company's going out of business. And there's a lot of money for their shit. And I watch it go down and go down. Eventually, it was down to a price I thought was pretty good. I went in there, offered them $2,000 less. They took it. So I PayPal'd them. These guys are Russian guys, too, right? They didn't speak good English in Chicago. So I PayPal'd them just in case something went awry and get my money back.
Yeah.
I said, all right. So I go rent a U-Haul then. I'll be right back, get the shit. Come back. One of the guys is very upset. Guy didn't speak English, yelling. Other guy was translating, right? They're like partners. So what's the problem, bud? He goes, PayPal took $800 out or something, whatever it was.
Their fee.
Their fee, and he wants the $800. Whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know, somewhere around that line.
Yeah, that still seems a lot.
And I said, because it wasn't like a gift, maybe. I don't know what the deal was. And I said, I ain't paying you shit. I said, right here, we agreed to this. I pressed the button. There's no more money. And a lot of yelling is going on. My brother-in-law was with me. I picked him up, right? He's kind of not. He's kind of a little shy. He stopped in his tracks. His eyes got about, way big, like a deer in headlights. And I'm talking to this guy. Fuck you. We're taking this shit right now. So we take it. We load everything up. And I said, hey, watch your back. All right. I don't know what these guys are up to. I have no idea. They're speaking a different language. They're fucking pissed. So we get it in as fast as we can, and we fucking take off. And that was the end of it. I'm like, well, thank God they don't have our address.
So then you had to figure out how to use it.
Yeah. So my wife's pregnant at the time. She was a teacher. Okay. Made a lot more money than I did. She was a reading specialist, has her master's degree. And she doesn't want to do it anymore because we're having a third kid. So we're like, all right, let's start this business. We got to make so much money and we'll be good. So she's learning how to do it that summer from JB Boss, who they were in the apparel business for a while. They live in Iowa. And they came over 2 weekends and showed us how to do everything. Taught us everything. Then my wife worked on it, kind of mastered it. But then my good buddy, jacked and homeless, Steve, died. So when he died, I guess they said he had a heart attack while swimming out in a lake or river with a stripper. Yeah. Good way to go.
Yeah.
And I love that guy. And he got fired. That's another backstory for saying, let's get stupid in a company truck, right? Drinking beer on a video we made going down the road while he was pulling me in the snow while I was bench pressing. So we started, instead of starting September 1st, we started in July when he died and printed out all these shirts of let's get stupid. And we took that money and then, gave it to his dad for the funeral and stuff. So that's how it all started. And from there on, man, just built and built. And like I said, it's definitely the best decision I ever made was to go on my own, do this. And it's just being creative. I mean, the job I work at right now, right? It's like the least satisfying job ever. You get nothing, right? You just go to your body.
Yeah.
When I do my job, man, it's fulfilling. Like, dude, I've made that. If I want to make more money, I just got to work harder, right? So, and it's something I like to do. I love to fucking design shit, make shit. I mean, I'm not a great designer, right? I'll fucking doodle shit on a piece of paper and send it to my buddy, it's a tattoo artist, and I'm like, hey, can you make this better? Like my supplements.
Yeah.
Same shit, right? He designed my labels, but I drew it out like in, crayon.
Yeah.
So.
What have been some of the biggest challenges that you've had?
As in the business? Working with supplement companies, manufacturers, by far. You expect, you got to drop a lot of money up front to get the stuff. Then they make it. Then it's like, dude, it's going to be 8 weeks. Then, it'll turn out to be like fucking 4 months. Like, dude, where the fuck is my stuff? I'm losing money by the day. If I had this, I'd be making so much more money. Most of them are like fucking used car salesmen. I'm with a good company right now, but before, man, it's fucking rough, right? And you don't want a bad product. I want a product that's going to kick everybody's ass, which I have right now. I have Eagle Jizz right now, pre-workout.
Eagle Jizz?
Oh, yeah. That's a street name. I have Eagle Jizz. What do we got? Unicorn Jizz. That's coming back again, which is great. Real name is Local Unicorn, and then Eagle Juice.
Mm-hmm.
Eagle Juice is like a bomb pop flavor. The other one's like the hell's the other one? Sweet? No, not a sweet tart. The other one's rainbow sherbet with like a hint of a sweet tart in it, which that's my favorite. So that comes back soon, as long as the manufacturer said it's coming on time. It'll be at the end of November.
Yeah.
But yeah, the other stuff, I mean, that's just, working with the distributorship, getting the shirts, very easy. A lot of them in Chicago come out the next day, all the, the blanks.
Yeah.
But my wife has to blow the screens out. That's the hardest part of that job. Because it's so weird how you fuck something up, it's done. Then you go to another screen. Then I have to clean all those screens.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, it is what it is. We've gotten a lot better over the years, obviously. But in the beginning, man, that was fucking hard.
What, clean the screens?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because just one little fuck up on the shirt, like the screen, fucks up the whole shirt. Like I got a fuck communism shirt on right now, right? And those are a lot easier to blow out than something that's got like a design on it.
Yeah.
Right? Just one little fuck up, screen's done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah, like I said, the hardest part is definitely working with the supplement manufacturers, which I got into that because one company paid me pretty good. And I was going to go to this other company I won't name, and they weren't going to pay me as well. And I said, fuck you. I'm not taking that. I'm like, fuck this. I'll just go I could sell pre-workout. So I had some connections in the industry and got with the company, and it's been great. I mean, except for the fact that it takes sometimes a lot longer to get in than they say.
Yeah. Have you had to go through different manufacturers because of that? I
went to a different one once, right? And I went back to the same guy before. And that was the dumbest move I made when I went to a different one, because it was shit.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the product was terrible. And yeah, there was some shit behind that. Like I was like, I ain't paying you shit, man. Fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
You just gave me a shit product. I paid you half. I'm not paying you another half. So that was kind of the bump in the road there. It was a few years ago. Went back to the other one. We've had no problems. This one's the best mixing, tasting, effective one ever. It just takes a long time to get in.
Mm-hmm.
Is what it is.
Yeah.
It's so much easier in the other side of the game, the apparel game. You can make that shit anytime you want. It's in-house.
Yeah.
Everything we make is in-house. There's a lot of companies out there that they design something, then they have somebody else make it for them, right? And it's all just like a drop ship.
Yeah.
Everything else has fucking blood, sweat, and beers on it from my wife. I mean, she literally will work out there all day long, make the shirts, ship the shirts. We don't have that much stuff that's like a no-touch product, besides some wrist straps, hats, stuff like that.
Yeah. Is most of the shirt, are they on demand? As far as how you're printing?
It depends.
Yeah.
Some of it is, yes. Yeah, especially shirts that sell a lot. Like the sweatshirts sold quite a bit this round. The snow camo. But and then she just makes them all day. It's just a logo, and it takes quite a bit, But yeah.
So you don't run into issues to where because you can make a whole bunch of them.
Well, yeah, unless they sell out.
And then they don't sell.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
I think that's a lot of problems with people that drop ship,
Yeah.
Which is a lot of companies. Then you have a problem because you paid for all this shit. Now you're getting nothing. It's just sitting on your shelf collecting dust. So yeah, a lot of it she makes. The only problem we'd ever have is if like this type of shirt sold out. So the camo's out of stock. That's kind of hard to get in.
Mm-hmm.
If certain.
But that's a better problem to have.
Yeah.
And then selling 20 out of 100.
Mm-hmm.
A list of questions here. These will be some good ones. If you could have a beer with any historical figure, who would it be and why?
Well, hold on. Let me get the beer. All right. There's one man that I would like to have a beer with, right? That was Stone Cold Steve Austin, which I did. That was my dream.
Mm-hmm.
Austin was the man. Obviously, in the 90s, being growing up then, there's nobody else. He was my hero. And I got to meet him. I did his podcast and drank all of his beer. Not only did I drink all of his beer, right? That he took me afterwards to a bar, me and Mrs. Barbell, and then dropped us off at a bar. So That was that like I said.
That can be a good or a bad thing. That could be like, I'm sick of this dude.
Well, that could have been, but we were there for like 8 hours. I was at his place for 8 hours.
Yeah, yeah.
And he was out of beer, so we had to leave. Like, yeah, let's take us to the nearest bar.
Yeah.
Besides that, geez, I don't know, maybe Chris Farley would have been great when I was probably, he died when I was like 12, but that guy, or Belushi, Animal House, I grew up on that movie.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I was growing up, I didn't watch things like Star Wars or stuff like that. I watched things like Revenge of the Nerds, Animal House, Porky's, Tommy Boy, Black Sheep. Like those guys I loved. Those guys were hilarious. Fuck, I didn't watch a regular movie until I was 17 or 18 years old.
And what was that?
That was, I remember it was a guy who, The Negotiator.
Yeah.
That was the first movie I watched. I mean, besides maybe some Westerns and stuff, or Tombstone,
Mm-hmm.
but mostly it was all comedies. Like I never watched anything else. I must have watched Animal House, Dumb and Dumber, Revenge of the Nerds on repeat 1,000 times.
I'm always looking for ways to improve my training, business, life, but none of that matters if my sleep is trash. If your sleep sucks, your recovery and performance is compromised. Sleep is the ultimate recovery tool, and temperature plays a massive role in this. This is where the Chili Pad comes in. It's a water-based, temperature-controlled mattress topper that fits any bed. You can set the temperature from 55 degrees to 115 degrees and even schedule changes throughout the night. It also has dual zone control, so I can stay cool while my wife stays warm. Visit www.sleep.me/tabletalk to get your Chili Pad and save up to $315 with code TABLETALK. This special offer is only for Table Talk listeners and for a limited time. Order today with free shipping and try it for 30 days. If you don't love it, return it for free. Go to www.sleep.me/Table Talk and see why cold sleep is your best ally in performance and recovery.
And I think that's that, and then wrestling,
Mm-hmm.
right? Pro wrestling, the Slammy Awards from 1988. I probably had that on VHS. I probably watched that 1,000 times. So I remember one of my neighbors, one of my dad's buddies, he said, that Tommy, and all that dumb stuff he did, finally paying off, right? All the stupid stuff he did's finally working.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Yep, all those years of watching Dumb and Dumber, the Slammies, Revenge of the Nerds are finally paying off.
It's finally paying off. What's the most ridiculous thing you've done in a gym that you haven't shared publicly?
Well, shit. I'm an open book. I think I've shared everything. I've shit my pants. I shared that, right? Deadlifting, I shit them. Deadlifting, I think it was my first time I ever pulled 765, right? About halfway up at the knees, I started shitting my pants. And I could feel it coming out. It felt like the ice cream, right? like the ice cream coming through my butt cheeks.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously I was going to stop because I shit my pants, what the fuck would I do that for? So I pulled through it. I dropped the weight and I said, fuck, I just shit my pants. Went to the bathroom, pulled my pants down, looked at my underwear. There was nothing in there. I'm like, this is no way. I felt the shit coming out. What is going on? It was all on my butt cheeks. I got a big ass. So I cleaned myself up, went back out and finished my workout. That was kind of embarrassing. There was a lot of women at that place. But yeah, other than that, I think I've shared I really can't think. I think I've shared everything.
If you had to pick a spirit animal to represent your lifting style, what would it be?
Jeez. Tasmanian devil, right? I mean, I just go through like a fucking maniac. I'd say Tasmanian devil.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. It's the way I attack everything and the way I leave a gym, destroyed. So I'd say Tasmanian devil. Is that a fake animal? Is that a cartoon character?
Extinct one.
Yeah, I think it's actually maybe
Instinct no longer. He's back.
Yeah. So he's back. So it'd be
Wrong again, brother.
Yep. A pre-lift ritual that you've done that didn't work. Because you have the smacking with the chairs,
Yeah.
right?
That
Where,
works.
you know, it's, for instance, I had a time where I used to whack myself on the, in high school, you know, how you have the bathroom stalls.
Yep.
I'd whack myself on the stall door.
I love it.
And it had a little give so
Yeah.
you could get away with it.
Right.
One time I tried to do it to the actual real door.
Didn't work.
Didn't go so well.
Yeah.
Fuck myself all up.
I'll tell you one, a good one. When I was younger, I used to train at a gym that wasn't, they'd kick me out all the time and tell me to come back tomorrow. You know, I was like in high school, but I do crazy in there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I put this naked woman up, right? And I clip it to the mirror because it had a little thing. I could put it in the mirror. It was back corner where I could squat at. So I put that girl up, she's naked, and then I snorted a whole line of pre-workout right before my heavy squat. You know, I was probably 16, 17 years old. And I get under the bar and I start squatting and my nose starts bleeding all over the place. Yeah, that didn't work. So I think snorting the pre-workout was not good. It did worse than it did worse effects than it would like better effects, right?
Remember the days of the mini thins? You know, the ephedrine?
Oh, yeah.
You ever snort that shit?
Oh, yeah. Ephedrine, man, that thing, I wish Ephedrine would come back. Somebody said it did come back.
I don't know.
Or is that illegal?
I think it's illegal.
I think it's in that where it's what you're holding right now.
Yeah, it should be in there.
Let's get stupid.
Yeah, because that was the Ultimate Orange and shit. I think had stuff like that in there. But
yeah, I remember Ultimate Orange. That was like the original, right? Did you take that?
I never took that because I just bought the gas station mini thins.
Yeah.
And, you know, then when that dried up, it was just Sudafed.
That was kind of that. I think the mini thins were like before my time a little bit.
Yeah.
Because if I remember Agent Orange, not Agent Orange, Ultimate Orange was around for about a year or two, right? That was like when maybe I was in 8th grade or I remember hearing about it. I never took it.
Yeah.
Right.
It had a lot of that shit. I think it had a lot of that shit, caffeine, stuff like that. But to me, it's like I can buy the caffeine tabs at a truck stop. I can buy the ephedrine.
Yeah, truck stop right down the street.
Yeah, I can buy all that shit right there at a truck stop.
That's true.
Get to go.
The Ultimate Orange, and what the next step after that was probably
Jack 3D.
Jack 3D.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, I took that a lot.
Yeah, that was another one that's like, yeah, I can just get the real ingredients.
Yeah, a lot of people did that.
It's kind of like the fake steroid shit, the pro hormone.
Oh yeah.
Like, well, what do I need that for?
Yes, right. Yeah, yeah. You're making your own shit right there.
Like, it's fucking stupid. Then you find out later some of it was actually real shit.
Yeah, right.
Didn't know that.
Well, that's what happened to that one guy that owned Redcon, right?
I think it was something like that.
They had that other company, Blackstone, right? And they got in big trouble for that, for having a product, and they said you have to take this off the market or something, and then they didn't, I guess, and they got pretty big trouble over that. I think they went to jail.
Yeah, I don't know what the actual details were, but it's
because I was
like
sponsoring Redcon for a while.
Yeah, shit like that used to happen.
Yeah.
So a company would come out with a new product and it would work really well,
and then be gone.
Yeah, well then it didn't work as well later
because the main ingredient's gone.
Yeah. Well, wait a minute, what the fuck happened here?
Well, I remember traveling to far away to Naperville and getting, and this is when I was like probably a senior in high school, and I get this stuff, and you put it under your tongue, and all of a sudden I'd fucking gain like 30 pounds on my bench for like 2 weeks, right? I have no idea what that stuff was called. Where it went, I mean, I'm sure it was.
Did it have a label on it?
It did have a label, and it was locked up in a cabinet.
Okay.
Like the guy would have to go to the cabinet, unlock it, and then you'd put it under your tongue. That was, I was probably 17 when I took some of that. I remember that like yesterday.
Like fucking halo test.
It probably was. It's like, man, this stuff works great.
Yeah, something fucked up like that. If you could create a world record, I think we already established this, for anything that based on a stunt, like the bench press, 500 pounds with 50 beers.
Oh, that's
like, if you could create any world record, what would it be?
Jeez. Well, that drinking over a case of beer and then bench pressing, right? That's the ultimate, because your functions are fucked up, right? You're drinking a case, that 24, which I did was 30 some beers that day, and still was able to bench 500 pounds. I mean, that should be a world record. I mean, drinking that much beer and then doing that. Like I said, all the stuff I've done a lot of stupid shit and a lot of big lifts and all that. But that was probably the hardest or stupidest lift I've ever done in my life. Or the roller skating squat.
Well, you mentioned the fire thing. So what's one stunt that you've dreamed of doing that you haven't been able to pull off yet outside of the lighting yourself on fire?
Outside of lighting myself on fire? Jeez. That lighting myself on fire, I've had that written down for years. We were talking about it earlier. I'd love to be able to go back and redo that video where I jumped my buddy on the e-bike. I was going 30 miles an hour, jumped him. I feel like the bike beat me, and I don't like to get beat, you know? But my wife and everything says, you know, please never do that again. She was out there for that. We had a big crowd out there that day. We had a fucking pizza guy there, right? We just moved to that area, and the pizza guy was there delivering a pizza. And he's recording it, right? And I totally fuck it up. That pizza guy got scared and left. But I lost to a bicycle. I got to do it again. I got it. I got to beat it. I can't get beat by a bicycle. So yeah, doing that again and then actually hitting the jump. It's like Evel Knievel. I got to do it. Maybe I'll do it on like New Year's Day or something.
Best pre-workouts. Best pre-workout music. Go-to.
My go-to for in a meet, every time I've hit a PR or my third attempt, has always been Hank Williams Jr., Country Boy Can Survive.
Do you remember the first time you heard that?
I do. It's like 8 years old. My dad gave me a tape. It was Hank Williams Jr.'s 10 Greatest Hits.
Cassette or?
Cassette tape.
Yeah.
And I was shooting baskets in my front yard. My dad rigged up some light, and I would play that 10 Greatest Hits on repeat for years. At 8 years old, 8, 9, 10, 11 years old. And I played it all the time outside on a boombox, right? So that song and like family tradition has been huge.
Did it inspire you to start chewing Red Man?
Did you just hear that?
To the toilet?
I think that was the camera guy. Just blew that. I think a bomb went off. No, I did start chewing Red Band. That is right. Or beech nut. I'd like to spit some beech nut in that dude's eye. Yeah. With my old 45.
Yeah.
But I did chew. I played baseball, like I said, and then into college, I did chew that and skull until I was 30, and I quit cold turkey. Remember my last chew? I put it in the toilet and never touched it again because I knew if I would, I've got a very addictive personality. I would never stop. Like, yeah, you can have a chew.
Well, if you started at 10,
well, that's true. That's been a kind of 30, a long ride,
right?
Maybe at 50, I'll start it up again.
I have a similar story because I started chewing. Oh shit! Church camp in grade school.
Church camp.
Yeah, it was like
Jesus.
It was whatever that stupid shit was, like Hawken or whatever it was. It's one of the flavored stupid ones. And then that went into school, then went into Copenhagen. Probably chewed it for 30 some years.
Holy shit.
To a point I was going through 3 tins of Copenhagen a day.
Holy shit, 3 tins?
Yeah.
I was going through a 10 a day.
Yeah. Then I got a new vehicle. I got a new car.
Yeah.
And like a week went by and I realized I haven't chewed. So I walked in the office and Wendler was working for him.
Yeah.
At the time, I think I'm done. You're like, what do you mean? I'm like, I haven't chewed for like a week. I just forgot.
That's good.
And never chewed since then, except these stupid fucking nicotine patches, which are becoming a problem.
Oh, gee.
But that's a whole different thing there. But thank God, because I remember buying the shit when it was like 99 cents a tin.
Oh, yeah. Now it's like fucking $8.
I have no idea what it was now, but if I was ripping through 4 tins of that a day, that'd be a problem.
Big time. No, I was like, well, there's no better time to stop than now, right? I was having a kid and I was like, well, I'll just quit. I don't need these spitters laying around. It's a good time to stop.
Yeah.
Done. I chewed, when I was a kid, I used to chew, shredded coconut a lot. Like I'd put it in my lip or my cheek when I played baseball, like as a kid. And I did that again for like 2 months after I stopped chewing. I'd take that shredded coconut, put it in there, and just felt like I had a chew in. And then after that, a few months, I was good. This first year or so when you're drinking, kind of miss it. That was about it.
Yeah. So how old were you when you quit?
30.
30. Were your keyboards all fucking brown?
Oh, yeah. Everything was. Fucking fingers were.
Yeah.
Up. Teeth were like dirty.
Yeah. Yeah. The spit cups fucking laying all over the place.
Yeah. Spit cups everywhere. Yeah, no, I used to know a guy who worked for U.S. Smokeless Tobacco. So every time a new flavor would come out, I'd get like hundreds of them.
Oh, fuck.
So I used to always chew whatever the flavor of the month was too, you know. But I like it. I miss it. I'll chew again one day, right? I said every decade I'll stop, then I'll go back. That way it won't kill me.
I'm a little afraid to because I think I'll latch on again.
Oh yeah, 100.
You know, and then it will become a problem.
Huge problem. No, chewing is I miss chewing sometimes. I used to work out and chew a lot too. Have sex and chew.
Oh, always. I had it in all the time.
Yeah.
All the fucking time.
Yeah. It's a habit. It made the time go by faster too. I always thought it made time go by faster. Like if I was out at work, I'd put a dip in, then it'd be break. Put another dip in, it'd be lunch. Another dip in, break, time to go home.
I don't know if it made time go by faster.
It made my time go by faster.
Yeah. They let you do it at work?
No.
Because I remember it's
my old
actually
job.
they don't know.
My old job.
They don't know because I used to chew in elementary school. Right. So spitting became
the fucking hillbilly.
It was fucking great though. If it was like if it was winter, it was great because
Were you gutting it?
No, but sometimes, but in the winter time because you're wearing boots.
Fucking guys gutting, chewing,
right?
Fucking.
Well, think about it. When you're in grade school and you're wearing boots, there's always like fucking puddles.
Yeah.
By your feet on the floor. So you could just spit in the puddle and it just matched the fucking snow that was already in there. Or I used to get those little black film dispensers.
Yeah.
You know, where it had real cameras, little film rolls.
Spit it in?
Fit right in your hand.
Oh,
you know, so nobody could see it. So you just spit in that.
Where'd you go to school? In West Virginia?
Yeah, Findlay, Ohio, man. It's fucking work. The hardest part was finding the person to sell it to you. So you'd have to go to all these different gas stations and drive through. And there was always somebody
in grade school
selling fucking chewing tobacco to a fucking 12-year-old.
God damn. Hey, you're not hardcore unless you live hardcore. I'm telling you that right now, man.
Yeah. So it's
big time.
Yep. So, yep. And
that's hilarious.
I went to Copenhagen real quick because all the other stuff was just weak.
Yeah. Copenhagen, man. That Copenhagen snuff.
Yeah. It was Hawkins as what I started with. That Hawkins shit. I'm like, this is stupid. Like nobody's got.
Did you chew cheek tobacco?
I did.
Red
for a
Man
while.
and shit?
I did for a while. That was harder to conceal though.
Yes.
Hard to do in
big
school.
wad in your cheek.
Yeah. Now when you go to
that's what I started with was that.
Yeah, no, that's a lot, man. You gotta be outside for that.
Yeah. Like, it's fucking wads. It's like that movie Sandlot.
Yeah.
This is what the big leaguers do.
Yeah, I go trapping with my dad, or hunting, and that's where that would come in.
And then chew, it's hilarious.
Big fucking streams of spit too.
Oh yeah.
So in the wintertime you could see the fucking, the brown
leaving
stain.
a trail.
Yeah. So you knew how to get back.
Oh God.
God damn, these are good tips. Kids today, man.
That's true. They can find your way back by spinning a trail of Red Man back to home.
You know where you're getting back.
I never got lost. Yep, there it is. There it is, Dad. Right there is your spit. Mm-hmm. I'm drinking beer and pre-workout at the same time.
So how's that work?
Well, I need that little kickstart, right? I felt like I needed a little more kick of the.
Now, don't they have alcoholic drinks that have caffeine in them?
Four Loko. God, it's getting all over my mustache. Yeah, Four Loko, but they banned a lot of that shit. Like the Four Loko now, right? Because it was killing people. They kind of took most of the shit out of it. They still call it Four Loko, but it wasn't like it was like 15 years ago. I mean, 15 years ago, that shit was wild, right? So now I usually, most of the time, if I want pre-workout and alcohol, I'd mix like Tito's vodka with it. I put a little Tito's in there.
Yeah.
It's a real good starter, right? It's like, some people say it's one molecule away from meth.
Why not just use the meth?
Well, it's meth. Then I'd pop positive for meth. I can't pop positive for meth.
Oh, that's true. That's true. How many years are you away from retirement? Because you've been a correctional officer forever now.
A full retirement?
Yeah.
It's 10 years.
10 years?
Yeah. I could retire in 2 with my insurance would be paid for the rest of my life, but I couldn't start that till I was 55 then, so I had to wait. So either do the full 10 or 2. And then, the insurance is a big thing. You still get a retirement, a smaller one. And the big thing is the insurance, right? So either 2 years, year and a half, or the 10 I would have to do.
So what are you thinking?
God, I'm thinking I'd love to get out and sue. I don't know if my wife would want me to get out, but I mean, I'd love to just push my stuff, right? Put all my time and energy right into my products, into my business, and just bet on myself is what I'd want to do. If I didn't have when I started all this, if I didn't have all that state time, right? I would just quit and put all the focus into my business.
No, I know a lot of people that are the same boat that you are. If it's corrections or law enforcement or whatever it is, or even military.
Yeah.
They're so close.
I know.
You know, it's like, it's a weird spot.
It is.
You know, some are, I know a few that are maybe 5 years away.
Yeah.
And it's like, and their business is doing really well. And it's just fucking
5 years.
gut it out, man.
That's true.
You know, it's, especially with the benefits and the insurance.
Oh, the bennies are great. Yeah, for the state, especially in our state. That's it's one of the bigger paying jobs for that job than any other state in the country, besides like California or something.
Yeah.
So
we could do that.
Move to California? I would never go out there, man. Dude, I hate going out there just for events. I remember the first time I went out there, I went to a McDonald's. They didn't even have real hamburgers there in like Beverly Hills. It's like fake hamburgers. That was back in the fucking 10, 20, 15 years ago, right? It's like you go into a hamburger joint and they had fake hamburgers. I never even heard of that at that point.
What the hell is a fake hamburger?
Like those vegan shit.
Oh, okay.
Like not a real hamburger?
Yeah. Well, you're making the assumption like a McDonald's is a real hamburger.
Well, that's true too. I've never eaten a McDonald's hamburger in my life.
Oh, really?
No, and I've never really eaten a fast food hamburger. If I ever get fast food, it's usually like a chicken sandwich or chicken fingers.
Yeah.
You know, something like that. I don't think I've ate one hamburger I ate at Culver's once. It was good. That's probably the only fast food hamburger I've ever had in my life.
So when you say that you eat clean, it's clean.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Unless it's, you know, a weekend, like I said, 85%. Then it would be like pizza or, you know, mostly pizza and beer. Those are probably the two biggest things that are my biggest like vices. Like if I didn't drink beer and eat pizza, I don't know.
All right. So then the pineapple on the pizza.
Fuck that. Fruit on a pizza? Are you fucking kidding me? You don't do that, do you?
If it's there,
you're gonna eat it.
If it's there, I'll eat it. I'm not gonna pick it off.
There's no way in hell I'm eating pineapple. You put fruit in my pizza, I'm out of here. Hell no, man. I want meat. I don't care what kind of meat's on there. If you put meat on that pizza, I'm eating it.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not a big fan of ham, but I'd eat ham. Other than that, no fruit ever on a pizza. I can't believe you ate fruit on pizza.
If it's there, you know,
what the hell's wrong with you, man?
It's too much effort to pick the shit off.
I looked up to you too, man. They said never meet your heroes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm not ordering the shit.
God, I hope not.
Yeah. Trying to think of where the other ones that I had here.
That
stupid fucking questions.
Pepperoni, sausage, ditka, bears.
What's the strangest thing anybody's ever shouted at you while you were lifting?
Whew.
Right? Because there's always that one time where you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Like everybody was like, stay tight.
Yeah.
Lock it out. Push your show. Geez, the strangest thing anybody's ever said to me while lifting. It's a good question. You know, I don't think I know. When I lift, like I said before, everything just drowns out. I don't think I even hear anybody. You know, you go into that zone, it's like a zone. And I think of nothing. So when people do yell at me, I don't even hear it.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, nothing's coming to mind. Trying to think of like the last meets I did was out in Iowa. I did the worm off the stage. I asked the guy if it was okay if I could do that so my bench would count. He said, okay. I don't remember anybody shouting anything. Just blank, man. Just completely blanked.
If you could ban any gym rule, what would it be? Because you've trained in commercial gyms here too.
Well, chalk. I mean, come on. You got to have chalk, right? In a commercial gym, like there's no chalk or what's that other fucking place called? That place where pussies go? Planet Fitness.
Yeah.
I mean, what the fuck? Obviously, they're catering to people that don't want to lift weights. They're going to take their money. Their guys are going to come in for a week. They've got them fucking locked into a yearly membership that's going to keep rolling over. They didn't even come in.
Yeah.
Right? We're getting them free pizza. We're getting this. I mean, good. I guess it's a good business plan, but it's not for real people that work out, right? There's a lunk alarm. What the fuck is that? I couldn't even walk through the door. You imagine me coming to a Planet Fitness?
There's your video right there.
Yeah, Planet Fitness video. I mean, the video would take 2 seconds though. Like, out the door, right? But I think chalk, especially if you're like a power lifter, I mean, those bars are shit, right? You got to have some chalk. That's probably the worst rule in like a regular gym.
Yeah.
Not like a gym I would train at, but like a La Fitness or Planet Fitness or all those places. Chalk, I mean, that's a necessity on lifting with the
Well,
with
on the flip
bar.
side, if we're to look at the gyms that you've trained in, what rules should they have had that they didn't have?
Oh, Jesus. Well, I like no rules, but I would say pretty much anything you can think of right now that's like illegal, right? That's pretty much at the gyms that I train at. That probably should be outlawed in a regular gym. Right? You can't go to Planet Fitness and see the shit that was at the gyms I worked out in. And that's kind of why when that gym went under is why I started, my own gym. Like, I don't want to go to these places, man. Fuck this. And I can't travel 2 hours. So I'm going to just start building my own shit up, which I did. And it eventually got bigger and bigger year after year. I started with a bench I stole from my old man, put a fat pad on it. At the time, it had no pad. The pad would fall off. And then I have a couple dumbbells and 600 pounds worth of weights. But that's mostly because I couldn't train in other gym.
Yeah.
I can't kick me out of my own gym, right?
Yeah, well, it's easier to do content too.
Oh, yeah, big time, right? I think the last gym I did train at, I was hanging off the balcony doing pull-ups from second story at La Fitness.
I do remember
and that was like, it's the end of going to a commercial gym.
Yeah.
Fuck this.
Yeah. How did that end up? I mean,
the manager is like, hey, dude, you got to get out of here. Don't post where you're at. It's okay if you post it. Just don't say where you're at, please. I said, no problem, man. I got you. I didn't post where I was at. And it was in Montgomery, Illinois. that guy said it's been fired, and I think the gym actually went under. But yeah, it was Montgomery, Illinois, La Fitness.
And what sparked the idea to do that?
Geez, I don't know. I don't know. I think I was just one day I was up there and I'm like looking over the top. I'm like, well, what if I did pull-ups off here? That'd be a good video if somebody recorded it from far away. Like, and they didn't know who it was, and they zoomed in, and it's like, holy shit, Huck Finn's about to die. So yeah, that's kind of how it was. And then like those bars got slippery. My hands were sweating, and I get a little nervous at the end because I was like, oh shit, I got to get up right now. So if I fall right now, I'm going to break both my legs for sure.
I was going to say, what was the backup plan, or there wasn't one?
There was no backup plan. I said, you go down there and shoot it right now and tell me, like, give me a hands up when you're ready to record. I'll drop down and just record everything, right? And then, yeah, at a certain point after like, I don't know, 6 reps, I was like, oh shit, I got to stop this right now.
Which stunt fucked you up the most as far as getting hurt injury-wise? Or just mentally as far as that goes?
I would say, well, the bike, the worst I've ever been injured was actually working out, which is crazy, right? Was the pec tendons.
Yeah.
Those are my worst injuries. But besides that was probably the bike jump, I mean, my ankle, I couldn't walk on my ankle for 8 weeks. And that day, oh, you want another one? I thought that's what you're asking for. I literally couldn't walk on it for 4 weeks, hardly at all, right? That night, I didn't know if I had a broken leg or what. I still benched. Put my leg up on a chair and benched. Drank a beer, put my leg up on a chair, still finished my workout. That might have been the worst. Well, cutting the finger off. Both fingers. That was probably the worst. The story about the stairmaster.
Now, what's one that you thought was going to go over better than it did?
The one that I thought that was going to go over better, it did like...
well, because a lot of times you're relying on an algorithm.
Right.
Where who knows why it didn't pop.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure some of your better ones never really popped.
Well, the one that I thought that the opposite effect was that boat video, right? I didn't think it was going to be that good. I thought it was good, but not that good for that. And then the one that I thought would have popped more, I would probably say deadlifting 500 pounds on ice skates, right? I mean, that's very hard. I couldn't ice skate at all. I remember going out there that night. It was before I left. It was like the next morning I was leaving for LA. It was either that one or the paintball one, which like left me scarred. Like you see the scar here. That one I thought would pop even more, and it didn't. I mean, it did well, but I was deadlifting 600 pounds, and at the top of every lift, I would get shot. This guy was a really good paintball guy or whatever. I had over there, and close range, light me up with yellow paintballs. And every time he hit me, blood would squirt out. It looked like ketchup and mustard. And I thought that one would have popped more. Probably those two, right? Those are older videos. But yeah, the fucking, like Instagram, I think is the people that run Instagram or these social media sites, I think they're fucking pussies, right? They have to be. Like yesterday, I posted a video of a fat guy falling down the stairs at a Bears game. Immediately got like 200,000 views in like 2 hours. And then it comes back as like, this is bullying or something. And you can't do live videos. You can't do this. And we're going to suspend you for this. I'm like, for a video of a guy falling down the stairs, like
that was already posted someplace else.
Yes. Like who chooses to do that, or who tells on you? What pussy would, oh man, this is bullying. Like who does that? That's a pussification of America right now. I mean, I don't even understand it. Like to say we're gonna, like I've been demonetized like every month on there, right? And it's just like weird censorship of, like, if you don't like something, just scroll through it.
Yeah.
I don't understand that part of the social media, right? A guy falling down the stairs to me, that like is funny.
Well, it's a weird one to me because it was obviously a repost. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like,
right.
why was the original one not?
Yeah, I don't know, because they don't like me, I guess.
Yeah.
Right? That's the only thing I can think of. Great video. I laughed. So I watched that video 25 times.
Yeah.
Laughed every time. I thought it was fucking hilarious. And all of a sudden it says, this is against our rules. This is bullying or harassment or something. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like, who decides that? Got to be some fucking nerds. These nerds are becoming a threat to our way of life.
So
right?
how would you change it?
How would I change it? I think the way Twitter runs now is better. If you don't like something, don't look at it, right?
Yeah.
I think that's how it was in the old days. Like, I don't get offended by anything. If you make fun of me, like people make fun of me in my videos, I don't give a fuck.
So it's just more engagement.
Yeah. Like, I don't get how somebody decides what is good and what is bad, right? In a video. Like, how is this video bad? Why are you going to take this video down but leave other videos up? It's just like weird censorship, man. And they'll throttle you down. And listen, I don't say anything about, like in the past 4 years, there's been a lot of stuff about COVID or politics or stuff like that, which people have gotten taken down for.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever said anything about either of those, ever. I just post stupid shit. Now, how am I getting fucking backlash from stuff like that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I remember one time I posted a video where I'm doing pull-ups in my barn off of an I-beam. And it's just the Rocky music playing in the background. There's a fire going in the wood-burning stove. And it says, training to beat the Russians. That's it. Taken down. For what? What the I thought this was America.
Yeah.
Like in the old days.
There's a whole movie with that in it.
You're training to beat the Russians. Why is that bad?
Yeah.
What, do you want to lose? Like, I just don't understand stuff like that. How could you take a video of me doing pull-ups down because I said training to beat the Russians?
Isn't there a whole scene in Rocky IV?
Yes, that's where I got it from. That's why I said it. Like, that's the whole gimmick. And then you take my post down off of Instagram because I want to beat somebody. Like, what the fuck? Don't you guys want to beat anybody? It's a pussification of America, right? Like the other day, I saw a guy walking his dog in a stroller. What the fuck is that? How do you walk a dog in a stroller? I'm like,
well, the dog's in the stroller.
The dog's in a stroller, and he's walking a dog in a stroller.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fucking weird, man. I don't know. Some stuff I don't understand. Now that's okay, but me doing pull-ups to beat the Russians, now that's bad. We don't want that. You know, So that's just fucking weird. Just a lot of censorship over weird shit, right?
Yeah.
That's what I've come to find out over social media, which ends up like hurting my company because people don't see my stuff then, right? I don't know. What are you going to do? You just keep going, I guess, right? There's nothing you can do about it.
With your kids, how do you control their social media? Or I don't know how to really ask. How do you bring them up in this environment?
Yeah, no phones right now. So none of my kids have any phones. My wife is a lot smarter than me, which is great. She controls a lot of that. And there's been zero phones, more outside stuff, you know, a lot of like all the time we're outside playing sports or outside doing something, less time in front of a phone, a tablet, a TV. That's how we're raising our kids right now. Obviously that's going to come right soon, especially for the older one.
Well, the reason I ask is because a lot of people will bitch about younger generations, right? But they forget that they're the parents of that generation.
Right.
So like what exactly you're bitching about if you raise them?
So for me, I'm raising them to be fucking badasses, right? I'm getting them in the gym. I'm working with them in sports. You know, the stuff you say to them, the stuff you do in front of them, obviously is going to rub off. Yeah. They see me training all the time. They see me, working, in the business stuff. Every time we go to any type of sporting event, I always tell them, be aggressive, be more aggressive, and fucking never be satisfied. Every time, or anything. So, and that's how, that's like pretty much what my dad told me. And I've been aggressive in pretty much besides sports, pretty much everything I've ever done. Intensity, aggressive,
confident.
Confidence is good. Confidence is key. Be confident every time, right? You can do this, blah, 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 the whole, everything like that. But yeah, be aggressive, like especially in sports. You always see like younger kids shy away from stuff. Like, for example, like just like the ball's coming to them. Oh, this person's going to get it. No. If you can get that fucking ball, you're getting the ball, right? Yeah. Just be aggressive in everything and be more aggressive. Like, I think that's the biggest thing, right?
Are they homeschooled?
No. They go to school. We live in a smaller town out, a rural town in Illinois. Which is funny because like the teachers know who I am kind of too, or the principal, one of the older ladies that's a principal, like likes my stuff. Yeah. Which is hilarious. I would never think this lady would like my stuff, right? So it's pretty funny. We live in a good town. Yeah, I like where we're at. Newark, IL.
Newark, IL.
Well, that's the closest town to us.
Okay.
You ever been to Ottawa, IL?
No.
There's a very good strip joint there called The Lamplighter, the Double L, Ottawa, IL. I did a good video on that recently.
What, the strip club?
Well, yeah, my 200th podcast episode was inside the strip club, right? The Let's Get Stupid show. We did inside, I don't know what you'd call it. Some people would say it's the worst strip club ever. I would say it's the best, right?
Yeah.
I'd say the girls are maybe a little below average. That beer gives you the shits. Lawn furniture for tables. Other than that, the place is awesome.
Yes. So it's everything you're looking for.
Everything. If you're near the Ottawa, Illinois area, stop at the Lamplighter. You won't be disappointed.
Yeah. So how has the podcast been going?
Good. Yeah. It's just mostly me and my buddy Callis bullshitting a lot.
About the Bears?
Yeah. Well, he hates football, so he gets pissed. We'll have random guests on from time to time. But, shit, we've been doing it for quite a long time.
Yeah.
I think it helps just to do a podcast. It just helps to, like doing this podcast, right? I've been talking for so long on podcasts. It's just kind of second nature, right?
Yeah.
But it's a lot of fun. We keep talking about, we need to bring more guests on and stuff. We never do. It's like, what the fuck you do this week? I fucking got drunk. I had sex and I bench press. Well, that's every other week, isn't it? Yeah, it's true. Nothing ever changes around there.
So how do you keep the content fresh?
Well, you don't.
That's the whole point.
Right? You got real followers that listen to the show. And they just kind of like what's going on in your world, right? So it's pretty much what's going on in our world. obviously we have, some of our friends on a lot, and sometimes we have guests on, like Dan Bell's on a lot. I've known Dan forever. He's our buddy. And just random guests, Cowboy Cam, just people that follow me know these people. A lot of people know Dan, right? But other people, if they follow me, they know that, and they like to know the inside info on everything.
Yeah, so there's always something to
yeah.
It'd be like we have a crew that trains on the weekend.
Right.
We can sit here and talk for hours, about just fucking nothing.
Yeah. I gotta get another beer. Hold on. You don't mind if I have another one, do you?
No.
What is it, like 11 in the morning?
1:27.
30, actually.
Jesus. Yeah. I asked you when I first came on here, I think last time, well, it was last time. I said, what's like the record for beers in here? Like nobody's like drank beer on the podcast or something. You said, I'm going to share that record today. And I did.
Well, you already had the record, but Dan came pretty damn close.
Oh, he did. And I watched it. I texted Dan. I said, you pussy, you didn't even come close, man. I saw him in here drinking beers.
Yeah, he had the intent was kind of there.
Yeah.
But once you get talking, it slows things down a little bit.
Yeah, I've only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 beers right now, plus pre-workout.
Well, the pre-workout's slowing it down.
I call that the kicker, right?
So what's next?
Well, I plan on jamming with the Stones over in Hawaii, right? And then climbing Mount Kilimanjaro. It's probably the next round.
No, what the
I'm
fuck?
just kidding.
Like, what the fuck is that?
That was from the movie Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Right.
That was Louis McCauley.
Okay.
Well, I got to keep growing the business, obviously. That's the biggest thing. I got to keep looking good naked. I'll never stop training. I still want to fucking do a meet, right? We'll see when that happens. I'd really like to do that Massonomics meet because I've known those guys forever. It's out in South Dakota, in the middle of buttfuck nowhere. But the guys that are kind of like in that crowd know me real well.
Is that a spring meet?
Yeah, it's in the summer.
The
bad thing about it is I have 1 2-week vacation every year, and it's like then. It's the only time I can go with my kids, and the whole family goes on vacation. So I have to talk them into like one stop out in South Dakota on the way to the Rocky Mountains or something. But you definitely business, meet, keep training. Got to keep coming up with different fucking ideas all the time. Man, light myself on fire. Coming back on the Elite FTS podcast. Maybe getting the WWE. Possibly UFC. I don't know yet. I mean, there's a lot of things on the table, Dave. Right? Trying to beat my record in beers.
What is that?
That I do not know. I mean, it has to be like, I would imagine like 50 beers. My guess, because I drank 30 plus while benching 500 pounds. So.
Yeah.
Something over that. I would imagine maybe I did it at the Arnold the first day when I met, my buddy there, Mitchell Hooper. I'd imagine maybe that day. I mean, yeah, he was working the booth. It was not good. Ended up in a garbage can. Don't know how I ended up there. He found me in a garbage can. I guess I jumped in it. That was the first day. It was not good. God, that's fun though.
How many beers do you think it is until that point happens?
Oh, probably. Depending on how much I've ate that day too. 30, 40 beers. Yeah. Right. After about 10 beers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Probably about 10 beers, you start really kind of feeling a little bit, but then you go in like this thing where you're like, kind of smooth till about a case. And then after that, it's like blackout.
All right. So the goal is to black out at the Arnold.
No. That's never the goal. The goal is to have a good time.
Yeah.
Blacking out is the last thing you want to do.
All right. So now the question I have is when you did the first podcast and put through tons of fucking beers about the same time period with no pee breaks, how bad did you have to pee that whole time?
Oh my God. I almost peed my pants, right? Like today, I broke the seal early. So usually when you break the seal, I try to break the seal late, and if you can get like 8 beers deep, that's a lot before peeing.
Yeah.
I had so much caffeine this morning. Caffeine's a diuretic, and I'm drinking caffeine again. So it just makes you pee more. And when I know I'm drinking, I try not to drink caffeine. But like I said, between the last 2 days, I probably had like 8 hours of sleep combined with the fights and the work and the driving here, all that. So I needed the caffeine on top of it. So 8 beers, man, I've pissed twice. That I'm not proud of it.
Well, that was before that I was smart enough to actually know that people may need pee breaks.
Yeah.
So I didn't tell people slide the coaster to the center of the table or just tell me if you have to pee.
Oh,
you know, so now I wonder how many people sat there in agony for like an hour and a half. And don't know.
Like your podcast, I've been on a lot of podcasts. Yeah. Probably the longest podcast I couldn't believe how long it was.
Yeah.
Right?
Long.
I love it. I just didn't know it was going to be that long. When I thought of the podcast, I was thinking these other ones, maybe an hour, hour and a half. And at the end, I see it, it's 3.5 hours. It's like, holy shit, no wonder I drank so much.
No, they go quick. They go quick.
That's true.
Anything that you wanted to talk about, I didn't bring up?
Yeah. Like, I wanted to talk about how did you build this facility? Like when you started, did it start out of your garage?
Yeah, it was a spare bedroom.
So a spare bedroom, you started everything out of a spare bedroom.
Yeah.
And then like, how long did it take to like come into
Forever. I mean, we're 26 years now.
Yeah. Right.
So, and it was a part-time type of thing, you know, so it was just seminars to begin with.
Right.
Seminars, and might have been like a sled, you know, maybe 2 different items. And so that went from 1 bedroom when we were in downtown Columbus. And then I wanted to get the fuck out of downtown Columbus. I'm from a small town.
Right.
Right. So it's,
yeah,
you know what I'm talking
about.
Oh
yeah.
And so around pretty close to that same time, Louis was selling safety squat bars, just a few items, man arrays. And so he just wanted to be done with that shit. So I already kind of had a system set up. Yep. But when we were in Columbus, I had to go to the post office to drop shit off, which was a pain in the ass. And so,
that's what I do. I know.
Yeah. So after several years there, we decided to move out of town, and training partner of mine still today, his father was renovating houses out here.
Okay.
You know, there's a lake out here that was off, you know, 3 blocks off the lake, just finished a house. And I remember looking at it the first time thinking this would be fucking perfect because I could drop the packages off at my front door, leave and go to work, and nobody can see the front door from the street.
Yeah.
The way it kind of crooked in.
Oh yeah.
And so that was the main reason for the house. Now it sucked because I had to drive into town for work.
Yeah.
But I also was not in the middle of fucking Columbus, Ohio, where people would steal shit off of my porch.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, we're talking like 2 packages a day. It's not a big deal. And so from there, that was like 1 bedroom to another bedroom, but then inventory started to take over a 2nd bedroom.
Oh yeah.
And then part of the garage.
Right.
And then the next step was Main Street down here, which was a $400 a month rent, which I'm like, we can do that. That's fine. But I was too stupid to realize that there's something called utilities. And the fucking internet, like my internet at home was like $30 a month.
Right.
The internet to run it to the business was like $300 a month.
The fuck?
And I'm like, I can't do that. So we had this place downtown for a couple years. I worked from home, then would only go, I'd print all the shipping labels off at home, drive downtown, you know, to where UPS would pick up, you know, from there, then leave there, go back home because I couldn't afford the fucking internet, you know, to be able to put it there. Plus, the principle of it pissed me off. It's the same fucking thing.
I know.
Right. And it's actually a smaller square foot place than my house, you know, but it's 10 times more. And by the time then after that, we moved on Maple Street. We were there maybe 8 years, and the rent keeps going up. And the rent got to a point to where like, it was a piece of shit. Like, what the fuck? You know, then it's like, I think we can build, you know, for the same of what we're actually paying for rent. And then that's where this kind of came into is building this, you know, the mortgage on this is less than what we were paying for a piece of shit rent. And it's a better facility, you know, so it's 26 years, you know, over and over, but I'm in retail. So it's a little bit different because the margins are so low. Right now, apparel, the margins are good. Certain things, the margins are going to be good. Right. But if I'm buying a product, if I'm buying your apparel, right, then I'm going to sell your apparel. You know, then that margin gets cut down. So my net margin's not what people think it is. And we've always been a media company first, and the products help pay for the media. Well,
I remember in the 2000s, early 2000s, like you guys. Did you guys, I don't remember, is that time a lot of like blogs, right?
Yeah, blogs.
I remember, like I told you last time, I remember Elite FTS as like when I first was really training in high school and then shortly after high school. That was fucking a long time ago.
Yeah, well, that's,
you guys have been around forever.
Yeah, that's why the products came in, because it started with just a Q&A.
Yeah.
Right, just me answering questions on the Q&A, and then an article or whatever that we would kind of just put the link to T-Nation.
Yeah.
But then we started to occur, you know, bandwidth cost. You know, you got to pay for the fucking content that's out there. I'm like, well, we can't pay for how am I going to pay for the content?
Yeah.
I got to sell product to be able to pay for the content. And that's fueled it, you know, ever since. And obviously content's changed, because this was before, those things were before Facebook, before Instagram, before any of those things. And the Facebook kind of destroyed the blogs.
Yep. Right. Social media did.
Yeah. I mean,
Facebook was the beginning.
Yeah. Because we have coaches doing blogs. You're just going to go to their Facebook page. You can get real-time Q&As, you know, answers to whatever it's going to be. Instagram kind of killed the training logs, because it's way easier for somebody to post that than, you know, upload the video, because they used to have to upload the video to YouTube, post the embedded code, you know, on the training log that we had. Yeah. You know, so content's changed, you know, over the years, and just managing how that changes has been part of the whole thing.
Yeah, just evolving with everything.
Yeah, because, and I've evolved slower than what I would like to admit. Right. You know, YouTube, I should have embraced that sooner. You know, I just saw it as a way to have the embedded code, you know, that we could put the video in the article. Yeah. Because and I still go back and forth on that, because I want people on my site.
Yeah, that's...
You know what I'm saying? Like, why in the fuck do I want...
Drive as much traffic as you can to your site, not their site.
Yeah, like, why do I want to send it, you know, somewhere else? And so I was a little bit behind the curve on all that. And where it becomes the thing with the new social media, like TikTok. Like, do you embrace that? Do you not embrace that? Like, what the fuck?
We got to. You know? I don't want to.
Yeah, yeah.
You got to look... I always looked at all the social media, right? As like... Now, social media to me is like cable TV, Fox, CBS, NBC, ABC, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all the other stuff, right? It's the same shit. That's where all the eyes are at, right? In the palm of your hand. Everybody's looking at their phone. TV is becoming a thing of the past. On top of that, it's free. Like, it's the ultimate device. As long as you be creative, funny, educational, one of the things, you're going to get eyes on your stuff. So millions of people, like say impressions a week or whatever it is. Yeah. You get millions of impressions a week. You know how much money that would cost in the old days?
Oh, I know.
Insane, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Now it's free. You just got to do it. So I don't care if you like butterflies or whatever you like, you can make money off of it as long as you kind of know how to do it. You just got to get out there and get on those things. And like I said, they're all free. So,
well, 20 years ago, maybe even longer than that, I would record interviews with people on the phone. You'd have the little thing you stick on the back of the phone. And I remember we posted 5 or 6 of them on our site, and it was hosted on our site. Yeah. And oh my God, the fucking bill that came the month after that was like, we're not ever fucking doing this again. Yeah. Like, no way. Right. Right. Yeah. Then, you know, YouTube became that outlet. Like, look, we can just post there. We don't have to pay. I could imagine what it would cost to have the video actually on the site running that whole time, you know? So
like, you've been around through everything. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
When you started, there was dial-up internet, maybe. Yep. Yeah. And now it's fucking every social media platform there is. Yeah. I mean, I don't know any other companies. What other companies are around when you started, like in the fitness industry?
Well, when we started, I would say we were before bodybuilding.com. Right. T-Nation, right about the same time. Now, what's fucked up is Amazon started about the same time that we did. Yeah. You know, so that's a little fucked up. But that was just books. Because I remember when they just started and all they sold were books.
Right, yeah.
And there wasn't really a whole lot of e-commerce. The reason I did start putting content out is because there wasn't a lot. There were forums.
You're right. Yeah.
You know, there were forums. They were a little fucked up. Only because, so when we did the Q&A, it was question, answer, stop. There was no thread associated, and that was intentional because you look at the forums, and while they're entertaining, there would be a lot of really good stuff in the front end of a forum, but then it ends up being a clusterfuck,
Yeah.
towards the end. So nobody's really able to digest the really good things that are on the forum unless you're always following it.
Yeah.
To say if you want to find bench advice, you go to the bench forum, but there's.
See, I never knew that stuff because I wasn't like a nerd.
Yeah. Well, there's like 10 threads and it's all trashing somebody's bench.
Right.
Then you'll get to one that might be on how somebody trains.
Yeah.
So it's like, what if we just had that one? Here's the question, here's the answer. Then this.
I remember reading your stuff at a young age.
Yeah.
Right. And I told you last podcast, I had bought stuff from you guys back in the early 2000s, even maybe before that, 98, 99. Well, I didn't buy it. My old man did for me. Right.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I've been following you guys forever. And I don't know like how those forums work. Like everybody's talking about bodybuilding.com forums. So I never knew about that stuff. Everything I learned was through like guys like me at the gym, but older guys.
Yeah.
Right. I'm sure that's how you learned everything. I mean, back in the
that's why I wanted to pass on and help out.
Yeah. Well, that's your thing, right?
Yeah.
What do you say? Pass on?
Learn, pass on.
There. Yeah. That's great.
Yeah. And that was the whole intent because I never paid. Right. So, I mean, I couldn't afford to pay when I was 14 years old. People were trying to teach me to powerlift. So I've always had that, and it's changed my life. Right. Yeah. So I always had that in the back of my head, like what kid out there needs this help?
And you've been around the best.
Yeah. And it's behind a paywall because that was a big thing for a long time. If you were to get any content, you had to, join this member site and it was all behind this paywall. And I'm thinking of, what kid's going to be able to pay
nobody
for this paywall or even have access to a credit card or any of that stuff. So how do we keep it complimentary? How do we keep it free, where everybody can have that, but still pay for it to be able to.
Well, it's great.
So that's why I say we've always been in a media company first, which a lot of people don't understand, because they see it as the retail, e-commerce, whatever it is. And while we do have our own lines of things, most of the stuff that we sell is made by somebody else.
Well, when you're a media company at first, that drives them to that. You give them out free content, great advice, all that shit. Now we're like, man, I want to pay this guy back somehow, right?
Yes.
I'm going to buy their t-shirt. I'm going to buy whatever you're selling.
Yes. There's enough to be able to keep companies around.
Yes.
Right? But most shoppers are still going to end up buying on shipping and price.
Yeah.
That's just kind of the way the game works with that. So the biggest battle for us is, how do you leverage the revenue that you have, right? Because you can leverage it all in content, which actually does have a lower ROI than if it was paid ads or other things like that. So it's how do you balance?
Like you were never a business guy, correct? I mean, you were.
No, I grew up in my parents owned a small business, so I know small business. So I grew up around that.
Yeah.
But most of it I had to learn. Like
with your wife? Did your wife help you a lot?
Yes. Yeah, so she's
same here.
Yeah, she's majority owner, to be honest.
That's same. My wife's name's at the top.
Yes. Right. Yeah. So I would do all the front end. She'd do the back end. So now, COO, I guess is what you would call that.
Yep.
And takes care of all the financial ass shit. I'm more the marketing.
Well, same thing. That's the same thing. I asked Mark a long time ago, Bell. He said his wife does everything. Runs everything too.
Yeah.
Same thing with me. I'm an idiot. I'm the face.
Yes.
I know a lot of shit in certain areas, but the bulk of the stuff that's, dealing with business and math.
Yes.
Not math. Not me at all. I failed math probably 20 times.
Yeah.
I had to drop out of math 6 times in college.
Yeah. I had to learn math. I had to learn that. I had to learn the numbers. I had to learn that side.
Yeah.
All that, I have to know that. But
no, that's awesome. That's
but my passion
26 years or something, right?
26. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
That is wild.
Where most don't last a year.
Yeah. That's what I was going to just say.
5 years and so forth. And it's not been easy. There's
bumps in the road. You just keep fucking going through it.
Yeah. You just got to hope it works out. And there's stretches, to where it's the way I explain it. There's times in your business where you're just in survival mode.
Oh yeah.
Right. And you can't scale when you're in survival mode. A lot of things you want to do, you can't do.
Yeah. I've been there.
Yeah. But then there's also growth mode.
I have all these ideas and I want to do them.
Yeah.
A lot of capital up front.
You can't do it, right? Because you just got to get through. Like we're in a survival mode now.
Yeah. Well, the comedy's been shit.
Yeah. So it's survival mode. So all these great ideas and all this other shit. And it's like, this would be great. Maybe one would pop, but it's too big of a risk to do now.
Yeah.
So
hopefully in a year it'll be better.
Yeah. Then you find out and kind of go from there and play. And it's not the first time, there's 26 years.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
up and down.
No,
2008 was probably rough.
We did good then. We did good then.
That housing market crash.
Yeah, we had, that didn't affect us at all. Zero. Zero.
That's good.
Yeah, which was amazing.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what was going on. I didn't pay attention.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm purposely trying to not pay attention.
That's good.
Again.
Yeah, like I said, when you don't think about anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Blinders.
Mm-hmm.
So like I was telling you earlier about before a big lift, I never think of anything.
Yes.
Because there's nothing in my brain, right?
Yes.
Same with like when I go to bed at night, my wife's asked me, what do you think about, before you go to sleep? So that's a good question. I don't think I think about anything. I just go to bed.
Yeah.
It's like, man, it must be nice. Like stuff's going through her head. Mine doesn't happen like that. My brain does not think at all. It just goes to bed.
Yeah.
So, what I'm saying is that people out there.
If you drink enough and train hard enough, you'll just fall asleep.
That's true. So tonight, there's no way I'm thinking of anything. I'm just going to go to bed. Probably in the car ride home.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, to have a business 26 years. I mean, you've seen everything then, right?
Yeah. Pretty much. I mean, there's still other things.
It's like half your life, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's not a whole lot that stresses me out anymore.
No, because you've been through everything.
Yeah, I've seen it.
You're an old grizzled veteran.
Yeah, I've seen it. Been there, done that. It's like here's this, here's the plan. Roll with it.
And
now,
then
20 years ago, it was a different person.
Yeah,
little shit you get all fired up about. Looking back, it's like that was so stupid to even get upset about that.
And the place you got now is insane. Like I said, I mean, it's a great gym and all, but I train in the parking lot. But other than that, and the pictures on the wall, where did they come from?
They've always been in every gym that I've ever had. I would just staple them up on the wall. And then when we came here, I wanted, because at one point we made a move where I took all the pictures because they were just slapped on the wall, and I put them on plywood.
Yeah, that's what I do.
That way I could move it.
That's same here.
Right. And then when we came here, I wanted to move them,
Mm-hmm.
and I got outvoted. Wife said no, right? Because it was a new place and
Right.
shitty ass, faded pictures and all the other
So
stuff.
what is that?
It's vinyl. So my graphics guy took photos that he had, and then threw them all up there.
Yeah.
But what's not up there are the original photos that I did have.
Oh.
Back when, when Louis would allow somebody to go in to take photos.
Yeah.
They were up there,
Man.
old competition photos. None of those are up there. So that's really that's not appealing. It was a compromise.
Have you added to it?
No. Now we could,
Right.
because it is vinyl, we could pull them all down.
Especially because you have a lot of people in here in the last year, 2 years.
Yeah.
You've had tons of people on the podcast, so I'm sure you got
we
tons of
could.
pictures.
We could, but I don't want to spend the money. Right.
Yeah.
Because
Just start doing the old way.
Yeah.
Staple it right up.
Yeah.
Print it out down at Walgreens and staple the damn picture
I
up.
could probably get away with that now. There's not that many people look up there.
So when you were training, right,
Mhm.
in your heyday, at Westside,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah. I mean, I had 15 years before that.
Right. But
yeah,
you're like what was the best training years you had
probably there.
at Westside?
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
why was it like so special? Because everybody, like I know about Westside, right?
Mhm.
Because of what I've heard, right? I've never been there. I just
Yeah,
hear stories. And like I said, same thing when I heard about Ernie Franz's gym. Same shit. People would come from like different states just to train there on the weekends, right?
Yeah.
Then he'd lock the door at 9 o'clock. Nobody's allowed in.
For me, it's a few different reasons. The first is I started competing when I was like fucking 12 or 13.
Yeah,
So
which is nuts. Because
so
you started chewing tobacco at 8.
yeah, so I had a crew kind of
Yeah.
when I was in high school, and then all the crews that I would train with, they didn't really last very long because nobody was really taking it as serious as what I did.
Mm-hmm.
It was my fucking life.
Yeah, they said if you took it serious, you'd be a lot better.
Exactly. And so I would have maybe get a group together, maybe it will last a year or whatever
Yeah.
it's going to be, but then you're always trying to find,
Yeah.
and you got to move to a different gym or whatever it was going to be. And so that was a part of it. Is now I was at a place where people did change, but the core of when I was there, Louis, myself, Vogelpol,
Yeah.
Kenny Patterson, and there's like, really those four were probably the only ones out there the whole time. And there were times it shrunk down to where it was just like us four or five.
Yeah.
And Louis was like, where the fuck are we going to get new people?
And what's that? In the early mid to 90? What?
Yeah, so it'd be mid 90s to 2004, like maybe 92. I think I got there in 91 to 2004.
Jesus.
And but the Demers location was different than when we moved to the other one. But at least I always knew that there was a core.
Yeah.
Louis was always going to be there.
Of course.
Like, so me and Louis was always, Chuck was, there was a handful that were always going to be there. So I never had to worry about that. And they all took it as serious or more serious than what I did.
That's great.
And so there was that. Then the other part of that was I thought I was done before I went there because of the pec tear.
Oh,
and my total didn't go anywhere for 4 fucking years. And professors and shit are telling me you're hitting your genetic peak, you know, and I'm it's not for lack of fucking trying. I'm doing all this different shit.
Oh, yeah.
To be able to try to get over this fucking total that just wouldn't happen. Then if I get close, I get hurt, you know? So then I started to believe that shit, that every time I get back to where I'm in a position to actually put a good total together, fucking something fell apart.
Yeah.
And 15 years in as well. So I'm like, well, maybe I'm just fucking done.
Yeah, it's over.
And so then Louis and I had a conversation, and it kind of made me think, what if I don't do this? Like, I don't want to look back later and say, well, what if I would have went?
Never.
Because I was either going to go there or to Black South World. So I knew I wanted to go one of two places. And he had the better speech.
Yeah.
Because the training was completely different. Right. Where with the other one, it would just be repeating the same shit that I've done before, but around stronger people.
Right.
Which probably would have helped too, but I was already training around stronger people. And so that I didn't want to leave the sport saying, what if? Never. And then that extended my career by another 14 years.
Jesus.
You know, and broke all those numbers and all the other stuff as well with that. Because when I first went there, I thought everything he was talking about was bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, I fought against that motherfucker for a year and a half.
What did you think of that documentary that came out? Westside versus the World. I watched it twice.
I mean, it's a documentary. I'm not going to say that it's false.
Weren't you in it?
No. Well, yeah, I was like a guy answering questions.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But it was most of the people that were training there at that time were after I was there. Right. So the gym I didn't know most of the people that were in there.
Yeah.
Because I'd already left and I didn't want to look back. And part of that was looking back's hard because you want to be part of it. Right. And when you're not a part of it, you can't be a part of it. You know, so I went through other stages of grief, you know, as a power lifter.
Yeah.
You know, all of them, that where you hated the sport for a while.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
And all this other shit. And so it was accurate to a point. The things that, and it wouldn't have been a good movie though. The things that should have been in there is there were a lot of people in there that were not fucking criminals and convicts.
Yeah.
You know, the majority weren't.
Which like normal people.
Normal people.
Yeah.
Warehouse jobs, warehouse man.
Right.
You know, trainers. There's a fucking brain surgeon.
There's a couple guys in there who are nuts.
Yeah, and there's a couple guys.
They made it seem like they're all like convicts and shit.
Exactly. And that, you know, to me, that was a little bit of a disservice to the other people.
Yeah.
You know, that were in there. And there's a lot of people that were in Louis' tree that have went on to give back a lot. You know, Wendler.
Oh,
you just start naming the people.
Well, Wendler, of course. I remember reading like with you, Elite FTS, right? I obviously 531. That was everybody anybody that's worth anything in the last 20 years have ran 531, obviously, or at least heard of it.
Yeah. So I think Louis' influence was bigger than what the movie portrays.
Yeah.
You know, because the reach into sport and, you know, all these other people that have, you know, grown because of that. And then the people that have grown under those people. Yeah. You know, it just keeps going. So
it's like a coaching tree. Yeah, like for the NFL, like, you know, like
huge.
Right.
And then the rivalry between Chuck and Greg, you know, I didn't expect that to be in there. Yeah, I didn't expect that to be in there.
What about the guy? One of my favorite parts of the movie that me and Cowboy Cam always say to each other when I can't make it to say a bench night, every Thursday night's bench night. And I'm like, hey, we have to do bench night Wednesday this week because I got girls softball, right? We'd always say, the guy goes in the movie or in the documentary says, my son was an All-American swimmer. He swam on Wednesday nights. Wednesday nights was bench night. I never saw him swim one time in my life. Now, was that true?
Yeah.
It was?
Yeah. I mean, if it's...
I love it.
I mean, our max effort...
who was that guy? I can't remember.
Bob Coe.
Bob Coe. So that was true. Like his son was like a big swimmer, but he couldn't go to the swimming meets.
Yeah, we did not miss training.
I love it.
I mean, it was Monday, Wednesday, Friday, either Saturday or Sunday.
Yes.
It moved, but when it moved for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, so,
right.
but no, I mean, if somebody missed enough, they were escorted, they were gone.
Yeah.
Right. It's just how it was. So if it was Christmas and it fell on Christmas, fuck it, you're training on Christmas.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, and nobody wanted to not be there.
Yeah.
You know, so it wasn't like, well, I have to go, you know, because of this. It was just what it is. I remember, you know, on 9/11, right? Because that happened on a day that wasn't a training day. That next day was a fucking training day. You know, that was a weird fucking day, man.
God, yeah, I remember that.
When you're driving in, there's fucking, like the sky is completely, there's no planes, there's nothing going on.
Yeah.
Nobody said anything the whole time we were in there. No, I mean, just about that.
Yeah.
It was fucking max effort bench day.
Nobody gave a fuck.
Nobody gave a fuck. It's just
bench
fucking
day.
bench, right? I don't believe any conversation like, did you see what happened yesterday?
That is awesome.
None of it, you know, because that's
focus is bench.
The focus was
Extreme
the bench. And then you're back out and there you go. So there was no political talk. There's none of that bullshit.
No, like, hey, what happened yesterday? You guys see the plane?
No.
Bench pressing.
None of it.
God,
none of it.
I love that kind of talk.
It just, that's what that focus was,
That's
and that's
awesome.
what it was, and you're in, you're out, there you go.
There's not many gyms like that ever.
No, you know, I couldn't, up until 2020, I couldn't even tell you who the fuck our governor was. You know, that's about how much I paid attention to any fucking political issue.
Yeah.
And like I said, I've been fighting real hard to get back to that state again, because you
so
realize what difference can you really fucking make anyhow?
You can make nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
But I tell you what you can do, you can bench more.
Exactly.
Right?
And
no, I agree
that's where it all
100% with that.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy. So that guy that was in that end of that video, it's like, it's still one of my favorites. It almost reminds me of when Chris Bell had that documentary, right? With the guy who was in the movie Over the Top, right? The arm wrestler.
Yeah.
And he's still training, you know, because the sun hasn't set yet. This guy's still blue. I can still bench. You know, I forget what he said.
Yeah.
He said something like, there's still a chance. There's still time.
Yeah.
And he's living in his van. I mean, that's the kind of stuff like I love. I love the fact that guy didn't see his son swim because he was so addicted to training. It was bench day.
Now, if say it was Christmas, we may train an hour earlier.
Right. I get it.
But the cool thing about a lot of the holidays were it enabled the night crew to train with the morning crew. Because
there's another thing in the video, right? Yeah.
They didn't have to work. So then we had the whole gym full of fucking people. Then it was always some dick measuring contest that would come out of all that, you know, or these three guys against these three guys. What are their total going to be if you add them all up? That was a cool thing about those days. Man, that's, I mean, I would have loved to have been part of that. That was a great crew. Westside versus the world. Yeah. We had a taste of it there, right? Like I said earlier. The gym I trained at, Barbell Central, at that time, you know, we had all those people that were that strong in the same, and that was the greatest. And I had that before. Like I said, I had that before, but it would never last long. Right. Maybe one meet, maybe two. Yeah. Right. Then it would disperse. Like yeah. This was like years, a decade, you know, of that. You know, if somebody faded out for whatever reason, there was always somebody else that was taking their place. And what about that Dimel guy? Yeah, he was. I knew him. Was he wild or what? I mean, like I knew the greatest guy ever. They said. I knew him before Louis. Yeah. Well, I knew Louis because he would help me and give me tips here and there. Right. But Matt, I knew personally before that. He was one of the reasons, probably a bigger reason why I came to Columbus than what Louis was. Because he was fucking crazy. He was fucking nuts. Yeah, I didn't know how nuts he was. But that nuts. Until I fucking got here. Jesus. Then I realized real quick, you don't go out with this dude. You don't hang out with this guy. Right. It's not going to end well. Yeah. You just stay the fuck away. Because I had the surgery as soon as I came up for the pec. So Louis had got sick of the commercial gym because he tried that for a while. Right. And he said, fuck that. Then he put all this shit, and I call it the boxer in the basement gym. It only lasted a year, but some boxer lived in the basement. There's a hole in the wall or in the floor. You could look down and see this fucking dude milling around. Weird as fuck, man, because I didn't know he lived there until I got there one morning early. I'm like, there's a fucking boxer in the basement. But Matt took all the commercial equipment, like the leg presses and stupid shit like that. So I trained at his little place because I'm in a sling, you know, after a pec tear. I can't all Louis had were Power Racks, barbells, and shit like that.
Yeah.
So I'd train at Matt's, and then I would go over to.
Hold on, you mind if we get another beer?
Nope, go ahead. Then I go over to Louis and spot, do whatever I could there. But, you know, Matt, during that time, wanted to show me around Columbus. And this motherfucker is in my car driving through people's yards, right? You know, where there should, this is how I kind of justify it, where there should have been an alley, he created one.
God, I love
Right,
it.
like here's a shortcut, buddy. Go this way. And I'm like, oh my God, we're gonna get fucking pulled over. He's driving through fucking people's backyards and shit. But that's just minor, you know,
Yeah.
some of the other kind of shit that.
Yeah, because in the video or the documentary, he would be like, he like pick the table up, throw it out of the way, and just start kicking ass and shit.
Yeah,
At certain
yeah.
bars.
Oh yeah, I mean they knew him at bars.
Then
for
they'd have
sure.
to fucking bail him out.
Yeah, he got thrown out of. I think the bar was called In Cahoots. He got thrown out of that. Went back later and
I would have loved to train with a guy like that.
blew the windows out with a shotgun.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Yeah, that guy's a maniac.
yeah.
And he was, what, 345, 50 pounds? What?
Yeah, 340 pounds. He got a bit heavier than that at certain points, but
God.
right around there. And when I watched him compete before I came there, the dude was a fucking specimen. He was a specimen when I first got there.
Yeah. And then Louis
Later on, and when he started to get addicted to heroin and shit like that.
Yeah, I know. God damn. Just stick with the booze,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? Man, that's too bad.
Yeah. I mean,
He's fucking stone cold maniac.
yeah, he was fucking nuts. There's no doubt about that. So what
Yeah.
were we thinking about?
So I almost came in. First, I had an idea because I'm a Bears fan to come in with a bag on my head.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was another idea. I was a big fan of the movie The Program with Latimer, Steve Latimer, right? And I was going to come in with the face paint on and everything, right?
Yeah. Get a
then-
place at the table.
Place at the table, starting defensive line, right?
Yeah.
I was going to do that and then talk about the pussification of America, you know, how everything's went to shit.
Mm-hmm.
But I had no time, and all I had time for was to pack the beer. So I didn't come in face painted. That took me a long time. So that never happened. But I 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got a lot of drinking to do. Still.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on.
Yep.
Hold on, here. Now, another question I had for you was, who was the craziest guy that you've ever trained with? The craziest, like strongest motherfucker. You're like, holy shit, who is this guy?
Chuck.
Vogapol.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Nuts.
Yeah.
I met him one time over at a meet there. In
No, I mean
St. Thomas.
crazy like strength, not like Matt Dimel was like crazy like mentally fucking.
Oh,
out of
mentally
his mind.
crazy was Dimel,
Yeah.
and craziest, obviously, strength guy was Vogapol.
Yes. Yes. Rob Fuzner was another one that just had freakish strength.
Right.
Just freakish fucking strength,
Yeah.
right? Kenny Patterson and the bench press.
Kenny Powers.
Kenny Patterson.
Oh, Patterson.
You know, on some of the pressing stuff. But Chuck, above all, is just he would do shit. You'd be like, the fuck?
Yeah.
Just weird ass. I remember him we were doing deficit deadlifts on where the bar was on our feet, right? So
Okay.
whatever deficit that is, that's
Yeah.
kind of how we measured what that was. And on one of the down sets, just for shits and giggles, somebody said something about high pulls.
Yeah.
And I saw him pull 405 over his fucking forehead,
Jesus.
you know, from the
Christ.
deficit. Just stupid shit like that.
Yeah.
We'll be like, what the fuck?
Right.
And we're all looking at each other like, what the fuck? The
Yeah.
fuck was that?
Nuts. Yeah.
You know, shit like that. But that was a different league.
And like, how did you start? Like, what age?
Um,
Now, how did you get, like, I got introduced a certain way, right?
Yeah.
From my old man, from bringing the bench press into the living room. He took the table out of the living room, the coffee table, put a bench press there. We started bench
Yeah.
pressing every day after football practice, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And that's how it all started, right?
yeah.
Now, how did you start?
I probably originally started just wrestling using the universal machine.
Yeah.
And I liked that. And then for Christmas that year, one of my uncles bought me one.
What year was that?
Oh, fuck. Probably 80,
I mean, what grade or age?
not junior high. So
Freshman,
probably seventh
sophomore.
grade. Probably
Seventh grade?
Seventh grade. Got the cement weight set.
Well, then back then, a lot of people didn't think that was good for you, right? Or no? Or is that more?
It was indifferent. I mean,
80s?
it's not a big deal. I mean, no, I mean, I got the fucking weight set for Christmas. So
Right.
nobody was against that.
I guess that was probably in the 70s.
80s
80s too?
early 80s. And so I would train with that all day long. in from after school until like 7 p.m. And that didn't last that long because I was also getting in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Right. So once my father realized there's an interest here and small business owner sold appliances, he knew the chief of narcotics, and the chief of narcotics ran a powerlifting club, a private key club.
Yeah.
So at say 13, after 6 months or maybe a year at the most of that, he put me there.
That's good. Yeah.
Right. So now I'm around people that are training for meets.
So kind of like your dad put you on the path.
Yeah. Sort of. I mean, he probably put me on the path because if I'm training with a bunch of fucking cops, then I'm probably not going to
get in trouble,
arrested and doing the shit that I was doing.
Yeah.
Because they would be around that.
Yeah.
But that's where right when I was in there, I think I started training for my first meet, so that would have been 13.
Jesus.
Something like that. And then that was organized linear periodization. Then I fell in love with all that, because there's Powerlifting USA magazines in there and all this kind of shit. And then that immediately became my number one sport from there.
Man, that's crazy. That was in the early 90s?
That would have been, I think the first meet I did was 82.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's when I was born.
Yeah. Yeah. And then all through high school. I had to kind of balance it with football.
So high school, what year did you graduate?
86.
86.
Yeah.
I mean, who had a big hit that year? Devo or?
Oh, fuck. I mean, in the gym was still AC/DC.
Right.
That fucking hasn't changed, but that's probably when Back in Black came out.
Yeah.
That was probably like new when we were fucking playing that. Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap. There was TNT. So I don't even know if Metallica was fucking around. It was pretty much just all fucking AC/DC.
Yeah.
Now this is what
would they play at your prom or something?
I don't know if I went to Closer to the Heart by Rush was the theme, whatever the theme song was. Rush. It's fine. I didn't deal with that. I didn't deal with people very well. I just dealt with the lifters and stuff.
Oh,
like
yeah.
that.
Oh, no.
But it's MTV like brainwashed my ass because now
because that was probably like mid 80s, right?
Yeah, and all they played were fucking music videos, right? So you don't realize this, but I can put on like an 80s greatest hits and be all this stupid shit, that was playing that I would make fun of back then, but I know all the fucking lyrics to them.
Right.
Because it would be on fucking MTV all the goddamn time.
Now, how would you not get involved in wrestling?
I was in wrestling.
No, pro wrestling.
I didn't.
Because that was mixed with MTV at that time.
Yeah, I just never had any desire.
I mean, what did you think? It was stupid or?
I remember watching it on TV when I was really young. Even before that, I remember watching the stuff before that.
Yeah.
And it just never appealed to me. Probably because people around me were actually wrestling,
like real wrestling.
Real wrestling.
Right.
I was in real wrestling.
Right.
So it was kind of like, well, that's
like,
all
this
bullshit.
bullshit.
This stupid type of shit. So it was kind of frowned upon. So I never got involved. I never really got hooked on it at all. A little bit at Westside, some of the guys I trained with were into like The Rock and, the stories that would go through when he was coming up.
Well, the Stone Cold era was huge.
Yeah.
That was probably the biggest wrestling I'd ever been.
Yeah. And I tried to pay attention to it then, but just didn't have the attention span to give a shit.
What did that guy Bugenhausen say about it? Boogs?
With the wrestling?
Yeah.
Well, you loved it.
He loved it, right?
Mm-hmm.
What did he get thrown out? I didn't.
He got hurt.
He got hurt, right?
Yeah,
knee.
He got hurt. Yeah, a knee. Yeah. But he's made for that shit.
Yeah, right. That's what I thought too. I'm like, when he started wrestling, I was like, I love this guy. Strong, big, crazy, hilarious. How could he not be a wrestler?
Mm-hmm.
Why would you get rid of this guy, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I want to know what happened. Why?
I don't know the exact
Vince McMahon
details.
maybe or something?
I don't know the exact details because he has a non-disclosure.
Oh, okay.
About some of that. But I mean, he was doing main events. He had a contract. He had a decent contract. And was in a good position.
Right.
The injury just.
He's wearing Huck Finn Barbell wrist wraps.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a bonus.
So that's a bonus.
Right? That's the greatest thing ever.
Oh yeah, and he is what you see.
Yeah, that's why I asked, because I never met him before.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw him a little bit. He had some stuff on your podcast and then shit you see on the internet.
Yeah. Right.
So, no, he's hilarious. Would love to meet that guy here one day, but I always want to know why would they get rid of that guy? Because to me, that is a pro wrestler.
I think that
entertaining, strong, everything.
I think at that time is when the shit with McMahon and the
did you watch
takeover or whatever. Yeah, I did watch that.
I did too.
So he's right in there, you know, during that time period. So I'm sure agent managers, all these other things are changing at that time.
I watched that. It's when my neck happened. So I had nothing else to do. The day my neck happened was the day that came out.
Yeah.
I watched it. It just brought back so many memories.
Oh, yeah.
You know, of like when I was a little kid all the way till, you know, through high school. Right.
It was an interesting documentary to watch because, you know, I remember, you know, a lot of that stuff, but I don't to see how it all played out. Yeah. You know, it was
I look what Vince said. He goes, I have, they're interviewing him in the ring, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this before anything came out with him and the woman or whatever the hell happened. He goes, I have 2 computers in my brain. One computer's saying this, you know, talking about the business. You know what my other computer's thinking? Sex.
It's like Animal House,
fucking women.
Yeah.
Like, and he said that. He's got 2 computers. Then all of a sudden he has that other shit that happened.
Yeah. It's like that scene from
I couldn't stop laughing.
You know,
yes.
The devil and the like, fucking braids.
Yeah. The girl lands in his room.
Yeah.
It's the best. That is awesome. No, I 100% watch. I watched it twice, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was living in my gym for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Hold on, what? You mind if I have one more beer?
Mm-hmm.
How many we got so far, Dave?
1, 2, 3, 10. 10?
Let me widen it out so you can see them.
Yeah, you better show those.
That would be 11.
I don't know how many. The camera guy, you got this?
Got that.
So what else you got?
Well, I wanted to say there's like I was telling you, my buddy Ross. He worked with some guys in the NFL and the NBA and all that. And he knows I'm a big Bears fan. So one of his buddies that he used to train is Matt Forte. He's a running back for the Chicago Bears. Really famous running back. One of the best running backs the Bears have had in a long time. So he took me out there. I met him. I raced him. He beat me, but that was only because my hamstring had to have a hamstring.
Yeah.
I would have won.
Yeah, I get that.
Obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But on the drive home, we're talking, and I said, the barbell has taken me so far in life just by picking up that barbell, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I've gotten almost everything in my life that is good has come from that fucking barbell, right?
Yeah.
The money, my wife, beautiful wife, family, everything, the people I've met, the experience that I've gotten to do, being here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everything came from the day I came home from practice and my dad put a weight bench in that living room and said I had that coffee table and taught me how to bench press. Everything came from a barbell. And I remember saying, how crazy is that, right? All the shit in your life that is great came from one barbell.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine, I mean, same with you. Like, look at this place.
100%.
Right? If you never picked that barbell up,
yeah.
I mean, where'd you be? You never know, right?
Yeah. Well, then the guy you're speaking to could say the same thing, but it was a football.
Yeah, Matt Forte.
Yeah.
That's 100% true, too.
Yeah.
He got that beautiful house in Chicago.
More lucrative.
Right. A lot more lucrative.
A lot more lucrative. Yeah, footballs pay better than barbells.
It's so true. 100% better. God dang it, Dad.
Yeah.
Put that football in my hands a little earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was just too dumb, you know, to go on to college, to a good college at least, instead of junior college. But yeah, that barbell's, I mean, it's crazy to think that way, right? All the stuff that you've gotten over the life. I mean, look at this place.
Yeah.
Barbell.
Well, it's accessible to everybody.
Right.
You know, and
anybody can do that, right?
And it's not genetically dependent.
Yeah.
Like with the
hard work.
Like with the football example. Yes. A lot of football will change people's lives to a certain point, say maybe high school, but then they're not good enough to go on.
Yeah.
Right. So then it kind of stops. Well, with a barbell, even if you're not good enough to compete at the top level, it can still be a part of your life.
Right.
All the way through. You know, it can never be taken away. You just get weaker and older.
Yeah. That's true. Fucking Father Time is never lost.
Exactly. But in other sports, it can be taken away.
Yeah.
You know, because you're not good enough to move to that next level.
Right.
Right. So it's just not there.
Man, that is wild. That's wild. I don't know if I asked you this, but this is my final questions.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I ended the last podcast like this. I'm not sure because I think I was intoxicated. Was that true, Dave?
I don't think so.
Okay, good. So these are a list of.
You went drinking afterwards.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Yeah.
So on the way home last time, right? We always stop at Indy every time, no matter what. On the way here, on the way home. That's like the halfway point. So we always stop at Tilted Kilt. Or not Tilted Kilt. Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
We always stop at Twin Peaks. I always get the Billionaire Burger every time. And one ice cold beer, at least one. And that's why I always have to bring a handler, right? So, because he's got to drive me home. I can't drive home after I do these podcasts. Fuck, I'm 15 beers deep, right?
Yeah.
So we stop always there. And I want to know, I got 5 questions I always ask everybody.
Yeah.
Right? And it's, first off, it's what do you bench?
Now?
Yes.
I don't want to say. You know, let's put it this way. I'm training to do my body weight for 10. Which is fucking pathetic.
That's terrible.
It's terrible.
I wouldn't brag about that.
That's why it's just terrible but I need a replaced shoulder. So my shoulder needs replaced.
Oh, yeah?
So that's my excuse.
That's a good excuse.
Either way.
Favorite movie?
Favorite movie? One that popped in my head, because there's always a hard question to answer because you got to think it through.
Right.
But as soon as you asked me that, Vision Quest popped into my head.
One of my all-time favorites.
Yeah.
I love Vision.
Yeah.
I've watched Vision Quest since I was a little kid.
I've watched that so many times.
Fucking, jeez, I got so many things to say about Vision Quest. When I was a kid, I was first grade. My grandpa, who's a fucking wild man too, he would take me to his basement, pour a drink, right? It was apple cider, 7-Up, and something else, and he called it killer juice. And it was right before I wrestled in the the local thing they had every year. They have a ton of kids up there. And I won every year from first grade till 5th grade. I got first place. And I always thought it was because of killer juice, right?
Mm-hmm.
So fast forward till I got my own business now with the supplement company. I renamed the amino acids killer juice because I told my girls, this is killer juice, right? And you drink it, you're going to win.
Mm-hmm.
So that all started because of wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And now Vision Quest, I don't know if this is what, 1980?
Yeah, it's probably back in there.
88, something like that.
Probably before that.
Man, I watched that on repeat 100 times.
Yeah, because I know I was watching that when I was still wrestling, and if I graduated in 86, it's probably like an 80.
Jesus. Because Madonna was in it. She was nobody then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, I watched it 1,000 times. Love Vision Quest. If you've never seen Vision Quest, watch it and go work out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like,
or you're going to want to.
Crazy movie, man. I listen to the soundtrack and it makes me want to work out.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's a great movie. I love that. That's a great answer. Vision Quest. Favorite food?
If I was to be executed and needed a last meal, it would be country fried steak and potato.
Country fried steak?
Yep. Yep.
That's a good answer.
Yep.
Favorite song?
Favorite song? No, I mean, it used to be, Garth Brooks' Dance.
Yeah.
That's
a sad song.
Yeah, I know.
Very sad. A couple friends of mine that died, they'd played that song at their funeral.
Yeah. Because it was like no regret type of thing.
Right.
And so I don't know if it's changed. I don't know if I like him and, the way that.
They said somebody said he's murdered people.
Yeah.
You hear that?
There's pedo shit and stuff like that.
There's all kinds of stuff coming out now.
We'll wait and see.
Right. Right. You got it.
But it still doesn't change the lyrics.
The dance. Song, yeah. Right? It's a great song.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not that, it's Pink Floyd, Wish You Were Here.
Oh, that's a good song.
So that would fall in there. It kind of goes back and forth.
What is your favorite TV show?
Right now, Yellowstone.
Yellowstone.
Yeah.
They
just brought it back, so we'll see.
It?
There's
the newest one?
There's 2 new episodes that came out.
Yeah.
So actually just one came out. Crazy. I like crazy bitches. I love fucking crazy.
Jesus.
I really.
Does your wife know this?
There's some movie called Serenity that's got some psycho fucking bitch in it. I love that shit. I love that shit.
What is 8 times 7?
56.
Jesus Christ, that was fast. These questions are getting a little harder now. Name the 5 Great Lakes.
Ontario, Superior, Erie.
Yep.
Huron.
Correct.
No, yeah, and I always get fucking stuck. I should tell me.
Come on, Holmes. Homes.
I would not have known that. I would not have remembered that.
Huron, Ontario, Michigan, Erie.
Oh, Michigan. I forgot Michigan.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's the obvious fucking one.
Name the 2 major mountain ranges in the United States.
Rocky Mountain, right, and Appalachia.
This guy's fucking smart. You passed the test.
Hey, give him the bonus one.
The bonus. Now, if he knows that, he knows the bonus one. Name 4 states that touch the Gulf of Mexico.
Alabama, right? Texas, Florida, fucking New Mexico. No, it's not New Mexico. What's that?
Hey, you got to be quiet over there in the corner. The camera guy's talking. Like how the camera guy's trying to help you out.
New Mexico is over fucking Texas, so it can't be that. Is it?
You're close.
It's the one beer, fucking brain
That
fart.
beer got you, didn't it?
Yeah, but that's the one I'm missing.
Right.
Is that one?
New Mexico is not.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but
That's
it's
over
under,
Mexico, yes, but not the Gulf.
I know, but it's under that one.
Under New Mexico is Mexico.
Yeah, so that's right.
Can't be that.
It can't be that. It's Texas.
God, you're so close. You almost nailed the test. This is the last question.
Fuck.
One more state. I'll give you a hint. I wrestled an alligator there in July.
Well, I already said fucking Florida.
Wrong again, Dave. Louisiana.
Louisiana. God damn it.
God,
Yeah, I
you're
should've
so
known that.
close to passing it.
That's just a little fucking.
CH we call
I know,
that,
it's
right?
Just a little fucking bit though.
CH, yeah, I know.
You know what I'm saying? Just a little.
New Orleans.
A little barely fucking touches it. But they got fucking devastated.
Oh, God,
From
yeah.
that. So I should have known that one because they got fucking devastated.
I was out there I did a video out there with this guy. He was a pro wrestler or something. He was crazy, man. It's like something you see in a movie. I got hooked up with him, this guy, Luke Hawks. I asked him, he owns a gym there in Louisiana, or New Orleans. And I said, hey, I want to take my girls out to see some alligators. You got anybody out here that does like some alligator stuff? He's like, yeah, I got this perfect guy. So we went out to the middle of nowhere, literally nowhere.
Yeah.
And we went into this bayou, which is crazy because I've never seen anything like that. I've never been down there. I mean, it is a different world, Louisiana.
Oh yeah.
And he takes us on this fucking boat, like an airboat or something, and shows us like 20 alligators. We go to his house. He has 20 alligators in his backyard. Like, a 15-foot alligator? I mean, that when he wrestled, got the alligator out, it like scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Like, I've never seen an animal that wild.
Oh yeah,
Like,
fuck you up, man.
Within like a foot of where I'm at, behind a chain link fence. I said, I got to shotgun a beer with an alligator.
Mm-hmm.
So he gets a 6-foot alligator out. He just puts his hand in the water, pulls the alligator out. And he goes, don't hit it in the mouth. Hit it right on the tooth on the side, right? The vampire tooth. I said, all right. So I said, hey, I'm Huck Finn. I'm going to shotgun a beer with an alligator. So I take the beer. I hit it right on he's holding it, right? And I hit its tooth, and the chomps down like the fastest chomp you ever. I thought my hand got fucking bit off. Pull my hand out, beer's laying on the ground, can is shattered. I chugged the beer. End of video. But I tell you what, man, I would not fuck with an alligator.
No.
I mean, it is
not a good idea. Not a good idea.
I'm not familiar with alligators. I'm just thinking, hey, let's do a video with an alligator. Maybe I'll wrestle an alligator.
Yeah.
Nope.
No.
Never
No.
again.
Yeah. No. Any final thoughts?
Well, I'm intoxicated at this point. I don't think I have any final thoughts. You know what I mean? I would say my final thought would be build the chest, fuck the rest. It's always worked for me. It's an upper body business. Always remember that to the young kids out there. And keep building that fucking bench press up.
How can people find you?
You can find me at huckfinnbarbell.com. or you can find me on Instagram or any other social media, Huck Finn Barbell.
All right. Well, thank you for coming out. It's been a great time.
Thanks for having me again. I didn't know you'd invite me back after I drank all those beers last time. I thought I got shunned off the podcast.
No, not at all. We'll have you back again. And for now, we are done.
Okay, bye.
All content you see on this channel and at elitefts.com is created by, take a guess, Elite FTS. If you want to help support the content, head over to elitefts.com and pick up literally anything that you need to be able to get more jacked and strong.